Chapter 1946. Etienne followed the guidance of the celestial stone and flew inside rapidly. He was getting faster and faster, and very soon he overtook many cultivators who went inside first. As they flew, they soon arrived outside a wall of light. Outside this wall of light, there were many cultivators who had been stopped. If he observed closely, Etienne realized that they didn't have celestial stones, which was why they were stopped outside. It seems that the celestial stones are the key to enter. Etienne looked at them, and all the cultivators turned their heads to the side and didn't dare to look at him. They didn't look at Etienne, but at the other cultivators who flew over. Once they had the celestial stones, they would kill them immediately and snatch the celestial stones. The celestial stones were the key to enter, so they could only snatch them. As for searching for the celestial stones, even if there were many of them, they had to search for them. They didn't want to waste any time, so the best way was to snatch them. For a moment, the celestial stones were the targets of snatching. Some of them didn't even react before they were surrounded by the other cultivators, and they all charged at them. Those with weak cultivation could only be killed. Etienne was powerful, so naturally, no one dared to target him. Everyone had seen Etienne's previous strength. Unless they were kicked in the head by a donkey, or it was their first time seeing Etienne, they wouldn't attack him. Etienne didn't pay attention to them and walked inside. As expected, with the celestial stones, he could easily pass through the light wall and enter. As soon as he entered, he was greeted by the sight of multicolored stones that enveloped the entire area. It looked like countless five-colored gems were piled up in the area, and everyone was dazzled. Such rich crystals. Every one of them contains a lot of energy. Etienne's eyes lit up. Just these five-colored divine stones alone were worth a lot. Of course, if he came in, he wouldn't be aiming for these five-colored divine stones. They were worth a lot, but they were far from the level of treasures. They were only at the level of currency. Their value could only be considered acceptable, but definitely not high. As far as the eye could see, the first batch of cultivators who entered did not pay any attention to the five-colored divine stones. Their cultivations were all at the level of Master Xing, so this small amount of money was really meaningless to them. Unless they were given a lot of time one day, they could casually empty out all the five-colored divine stones here. However, the Five Elements Mountain wouldn't give them unlimited time. If they continued like this, the Five Elements Mountain would soon close. Etienne glanced around and continued to fly inside. When the Heaven Crystal Stone came in, it no longer had any guiding power. It seemed that the mission had been completed and the rest was up to them. As he went deeper and deeper, he sensed energy fluctuations coming from the inside before he got too deep into the area. Soon after, several corpses flew over and turned into countless pieces in front of him. A blood-curdling scream came from the front as well. For a moment, the energy coming from the front didn't show any signs of stopping. Etienne narrowed his eyes and looked ahead carefully. He found that there was a large group of monsters with green fur in front of him. They were constantly tearing through the cultivators. They were either tearing the cultivators apart or grabbing them and biting them. The key was that there were a lot of them. There were at least hundreds of them, and all of them were at the level of Master Xing. What race is this? Etienne's eyes narrowed. Before he could take a closer look, he heard a cry of surprise. This is the Green Demon Clan. Why are there green demons here? Quick, run. Damn it, it's the Green Demon Clan. Why are such ferocious demons here? Didn't they say that they would be exterminated? When the cultivators who follow behind saw the Green Demon Clan, they were so scared that they ran toward the exit. They seemed to have forgotten about the rare treasures at this moment. If you wanted the rare treasures, you first had to be alive to take them. Who would dare to approach these ferocious green demons? Green Demon Clan? Etienne was startled. He suddenly remembered that the records he had read before were about the Green Demon Clan. Generally speaking, the Green Demon Clan was one of the races. However, the Green Demon Clan was extremely ferocious and was completely a demon clan. When they encountered other races, they would attack fiercely and would never show any mercy. In the past, because of the Green Demon Clan's anger, they were crazily slaughtered, and in the end, they were basically exterminated. They thought that they had basically disappeared. Who knew that they would reappear in the Five Elements Mountain? Looking at the number, Etienne suspected that this place was used to seal the Green Demon clan and trap them here. Etienne didn't run away. He continued to fly forward. When the Green Demon clan in front of him saw him, their eyes glowed with green light. With a roar, they rushed toward him. Kill! They quickly rushed over, wanting to kill Etienne. As long as they were outsiders, they would be included in the list of people to be killed. Die! Etienne took a step forward, and the phantom of the five-colored king dragon burst out, killing a group of Green Demon clan that rushed over. In the blink of an eye, dozens of Green Demon clan that rushed over were trampled to death. The rest were so scared that they retreated. It's a star venerate. Moreover, it's a star venerate with a unique star dharma idol. They were so scared that they quickly retreated. No matter how ferocious they were, they would still be afraid. The horrifying power easily trampled them to pieces like tofu. Etienne didn't show any mercy. He continued to step forward, trampling them to pieces. In a short while, they were all dead. However, after killing them, Etienne felt a sharp gaze from a distance. He looked up and saw several star ships made of five-color divine stones. Then he saw a few star boats that were forged from five-color divine stones in the distance. Quite a few green devils were on board, and one of them was a green devil in green armor who was staring at him coldly. So many green demons. Etienne narrowed his eyes. There were at least several thousand star venerates in this group. Among them, the green demon who was staring at him was a late-stage star venerate. He gave off a feeling that he was even stronger than Metal Wind star venerate. The cultivators following behind Etienne were scared out of their wits. They thought that with so many green demons killed, they could finally search for treasures in peace. But now, it seemed that was not the case. There were so many green demons, and they couldn't kill them all. It was as if they had entered the Green Demon clan's lair. This place was full of green demons, and their cultivation was extremely high. What is in the Five Elements Mountain? I better go first. Whoever comes, he will come. I also need to go quickly. If I'm late, I'm afraid it will be too late. Damn it, why are there so many green demons? Chapter 1947. They didn't know when the green demons had surrounded them. There were already enough green demons in front of them, but they didn't expect more green demons to surround them so quickly. There were hundreds of green demons in front of them and hundreds behind them. There were probably thousands of green demons in total. The shocking number of green demons shocked them. How could there be so many green demons in the Five Element Mountain? Could it be that this place wasn't a sealed place, but a lair of the green demons? It's over, we can't escape. Their hearts sank. How could they escape now? There was almost nowhere to run. All their paths of retreat were blocked. How could they escape? So many green demons. Is this your lair? Etienne's expression was indifferent. Facing so many green demons, his expression didn't change. This wasn't a big problem for him. He was curious about why there were so many green demons here and why so many celestial crystals had suddenly appeared. Bold cultivators, you have trespassed into our territory. Why aren't you kneeling and apologizing with your death? The green demon in front shouted at Etienne, not afraid of Etienne's power at all. In their opinion, as long as their king was here, there was nothing to be afraid of. Your territory? Etienne looked around and said indifferently, I don't think this is your territory. This is the Five Element Mountain, our territory. Bullsh asterisk T. This isn't the Five Element Mountain, it's the green godly land. This is the territory of our people. It has been occupied by you cultivators. That's why it has become like this. The guard in front shouted and corrected Etienne. Oh, the green godly land. Etienne's eyes flashed and he sneered. So what? There is no hatred for no reason in this world. You green demons are not good people either. Killing lives at will is not good. The weak are prey to the strong. You are too weak and are destined to be ruled by us. That's right, the Green Demon Godchild is the ruler of this area. The Green Demon Godchild is invincible. The guards roared as if they were on steroids. Their morale soared. Green Demon Godchild, huh? Interesting. Eteonyon looked at the celestial lord, sitting leisurely on one of the astral boats. It seemed that this was the green demon godchild. Usually, the most talented geniuses in a faction would be called the god's son. It seemed that the green demon godchild was extremely talented. However, for him to break through to late-stage star venerate, his talent naturally could not be weak. A bunch of weak cultivators. Get rid of them. Don't let them tarnish our holy land, the green demon godchild said. He gently waved his hand and signaled for them to destroy the group of cultivators in front of him. With a command, a group of Green Devil race members rushed forward, and Grandmaster Shing's power erupted. The strange thing was that they didn't have a Star Dharma idol. They were simply using their power to attack. However, this was already strong enough. With a strong physique, strong power, and being nourished by the 5-color divine stone every day, the situation would not be bad no matter what. As far as they were concerned, breaking through to Grandmaster Shing's cultivation was simply as easy as drinking water. If they soaked in the 5-color divine stone every day, it would be hard for them not to break through to Grandmaster Shing's cultivation. In an instant, a large number of Green Devil race members rushed forward. The group of cultivators turned pale. They wanted nothing but to go back. However, it was too late for regrets. They didn't even have the chance to escape. Soon, they were surrounded by a group of Green Devil race members. As for Eteonion's side, they were also surrounded by a group of Green Devil race members. However, there was a huge difference between the two. One side was fighting to the death, while Eteonion's side was quickly sweeping through. In the blink of an eye, hundreds of Green Devil race members were killed. After killing them, he immediately turned around and went to support the cultivators. As a beam of light shot out, the Green Devil race members who were attacking the cultivators were easily destroyed. The rescued cultivators immediately shed tears of gratitude. They didn't expect Eteonyon to help them. "Thank you, my lord. Thank you, my lord." As they expressed their gratitude, they retreated. Right now, they could only express their gratitude. There was nothing else they could do to repay him. If they were too late, it would be too late. Looking at their backs as they left, Eteonyon didn't pay them any attention. Getting rid of them, apart from destroying the Green Devil race, was also because they were cultivators. Staying with these cultivators was better than staying with the Green Devil race. Hundreds of Green Devil race members were killed. The Green Devil race members who were about to rush over were so scared that they retreated. Their morale was greatly reduced. They thought that with so many of them, they would definitely be able to exhaust Eteonyon to death. Who knew that they would be easily killed by him? He's not weak. The Green Devil Son of God didn't show any anger at the fact that so many of his subordinates had been killed. However, that's all there is to his strength. You cultivators think that you're really invincible and that no one can stop you? Your level is only about the same as his. The Green Devil Son of God waved his hand in the void. A head flew out and fell from the sky. Finally, it fell to the ground and smashed into a pile of meat paste. Eteonyon casually glanced at it. When it fell to the ground and turned into a pile of meat paste, he already saw who it was. The Sword Wind Star Venerate. The Sword Wind Star Venerate, who was charging at the front, died just like that. Furthermore, he was killed by the Green Devil Son of God. Although he wouldn't die if he kept his head, if his soul was extracted, it would be useless even if he kept his head. Eteonyon casually glanced at it and knew that the Sword Wind Star Venerate's soul had been extracted. The Green Devil Son of God probably swallowed it. Although the Sword Wind Star Venerate wasn't strong, he was still a Star Venerate. In such a short time, the Sword Wind Star Venerate was killed and his soul was extracted. This was enough to show how strong he was. Oh, his cultivation is just at the bottom of the list. Eteonyon shrugged and said with an indifferent attitude, "Bottom." The Green Devil Son of God's eyes narrowed. He couldn't tell if Eteonyon was telling the truth or lying. He said that just to scare his opponent. He didn't expect the Sword Wind Star Venerate to be the weakest Star Venerate. This gave him a headache. He spoke lightly, but the Sword Wind Star Venerate was really not weak. Although he could kill him, it would still take some effort. If this was the weakest, then what would the strongest be? The main thing was that they couldn't get out. If they did, how could they resist the terrifying environment outside? That's right. He's the bottom. Etienne said indifferently. Even your cultivation can only be considered average outside, below average. Chapter 1948. My strength is only below average. The green demon divine son narrowed his eyes in disbelief. That's right. Your strength is only below average. Killing our weakest star venerate is simply pointless. Etienne said with a smile. Our strongest star lords don't even bother coming in. If they all came in, do you think they could talk to me up there? We have more than 1,000 star lords alone. What's the point of killing those at the bottom? Etienne did not even need to prepare a draft when he was bragging. How could there be more than 1,000 star lords outside? At most, there would not be more than 1,000 star lords. Everything he said was to scare them and, at the same time, to probe the situation. Impossible, the green demon divine son retorted. How can a star lord break through so easily? You're just spouting nonsense. We have the nourishment of the 5-colored divine stone here. We don't have more than 10 star lords, but you have more than 1,000. It's impossible. If you think it's impossible, that's your problem. If you can go out and take a look. Then, you'll know how many strong people we have outside. We have dozens of star venerables, not to mention star lords. Etienne laughed loudly. He was full of lies, and he could not stop. Dozens of star venerables? The green demon divine son's pupils constricted. He knew what star venerables meant. If there were dozens of them, how could they rule when they attacked? They would be exterminated soon after they left. That's right. We have dozens of star venerables. What's wrong? You don't dare go out? Etienne looked at him mockingly. How dare you, outsider? Our divine son is invincible. We can't lose to you. No matter how many star lords there are, our divine son can exterminate them. That's right. Our divine son is invincible. This guy's just spouting nonsense. It can't be true. Our divine son is truly invincible. He is a real star lord. They refused to believe it. They all thought Etienne was lying. The green demon divine son waved his hand to signal his subordinates to quiet down. What a joke. Why wouldn't I dare go out? Once we break this seal, we will go out and trample you all to the ground. The green demon godchild was not easily fooled. Those who had to go out would go out eventually. By the way, the one who set up the seal here is one of the weaker ones among us. Etienne added, if it had been someone else, not to mention breaking the seal, I'm afraid not many of you would have survived. Etienne's mocking expression scared them all. Is that so? I'm looking forward to it. You've sealed us for so long. Now it's our turn to punish you. The green demon godchild did not retreat. Instead, he stood up and said with a cold gaze, then I'll start with you. In reality, he was still a little worried. He couldn't tell if Etienne was telling the truth, but no matter what, he couldn't back down. With so many subordinates looking at him, if he chose to retreat, wouldn't that mean that he was afraid? If he was afraid, his prestige here would definitely drop. The green demon divine son took a step forward, and a green demon divine star appeared behind him. Even though there were layers of seals here, the green demon divine star could still be seen. It was a level 6 star Dharma idol. Well, there's a star Dharma idol. Etienne had thought that none of them had a star Dharma idol, but he could still see a star Dharma idol on the green demon divine son. However, only the green demon divine son had a star Dharma idol. Etienne guessed that it was because this place was sealed and it was difficult to communicate with the power of stars, so they couldn't obtain a star Dharma idol. If one wanted to obtain a star Dharma idol, they had to meet certain conditions. In other words, they had to pay a certain price to achieve it. It had to be said that someone who could trap such a ferocious race here must be a supreme expert of the generation. This level of cultivation wasn't something that a star venerable could achieve. Only existences with a higher level of cultivation could achieve this. Star venerables were strong, but that didn't mean they could steal the sky and replace the sun. Suppressing a race for a long time, even suppressing the star Dharma idol, was probably something only star venerables or higher or even extremely late-stage star venerables could achieve. However, when one broke through to the star venerable realm, the power of star's grasp could really interfere with a race's situation. However, it was difficult to even awaken a star dharma idol, so one had to be at a higher level to achieve this. After the star dharma idol erupted, the green demon divine sun's power increased greatly. His whole body was covered in green hair, and he looked very strange. It was like a huge piece of seaweed, constantly wriggling. This was actually a kind of mutated with element power. It had the ability to devour the cultivator's life force. At the same time, it also had a strong healing ability. After all, the wood element had a healing effect, and it could last a long time in a fight. No wonder the Sword Wind Star Lord could kill him so easily. Even if the Metal Wind Star Lord came, he would probably be suppressed by the Green Demon Divine Sun. When Tianyun saw the Green Demon Divine Sun pouncing over, he shook his head. With one look, he could tell that the Green Demon Divine Sun was not simple. No wonder he had been conferred the title of Divine Sun here. Just his level 6 star Dharma idol was enough for him to look down on everyone. Before him, the Metal Wind Star Lord was nothing. However, it was unknown how strong the Green Demon Clan's foundation was. In any case, he was suppressed now, so it was hard to say. Speaking of which, this was the first time he had seen a level 6 star Dharma idol. The vast star energy was many times more powerful than the star energy of a level 5 star energy. The Green Demon Divine Sun did not even need to use the star power, but he already had a strong power. The astonishing Green Demon God Star had given him a heaven-defying physique, as well as a powerful healing ability. Surrender, foolish cultivator. The Green Demon Divine Sun opened his hand. With the support of the Star Dharma idol, an incomparably majestic palm came crashing down. All the life force in the surroundings was quickly sucked dry. It could instantly suck dry a Star Master. Even a star venerate's life force would be sucked out bit by bit. If the battle continued, he would definitely lose. The Green Demon Divine Sun is invincible. The Green Demon Divine Sun is invincible. Level 6 Star Dharma Idol. Level 6 Star Dharma Idol is invincible. Their subordinates shouted. When they saw the Green Demon Divine Sun erupt with power, they all became excited. Such a strong power made them worship him to the extreme. Looks like this battle will have to be fought properly. Tianyun was on his guard. He did not think that this battle would be easy. Judging from this move, the Green Demon Divine Sun was far stronger than the Metal Wind Star Lord. He was really as strong as a half-step star venerable. Chapter 1949. The Green Demon Godchild covered the sky with a giant palm and an extremely strong devouring power, wanting to suck Tianyun dry in an instant. As his power exploded, his subordinates became even more excited and wanted to kneel on the spot. However, Tianyun naturally would not let him do as he wished. A grade 6 star aspect? You're still a frog in a well. Tianyun's eyes turned cold as he leaped into the sky. The unique star aspect of the 5-colored Emperor Dragon behind him was instantly released. It was even more dazzling, and an even larger star aspect erupted. The unique star aspect that was displayed in the star domain in the sky suppressed the Green Demon Godchild in one fell swoop. The appearance of a unique star aspect stunned them all. They had never seen a star aspect that was more powerful than the Green Demon Godchild's. The Green Demon Godchild's star aspect was considered a top-notch existence in the Green Demon race. The only one that could compare to it was the Patriarch who had died a long time ago. Now, his talent was the most amazing, and he was known as the new hope of the Green Demon race. With such a powerful Green Demon Godchild leading them, they would definitely be able to reach the peak. They would even be able to break out and capture all the cultivators outside in one fell swoop. Fantasies were beautiful, but reality was cruel. Before they could even attack, they saw an even stronger unique star aspect. This was a legendary and unique existence that was above all the other star aspects. This was the true aura of a king and the demeanor of a king. Unique star aspect. The Green Demon Godchild was shocked. He had never thought that there would be a unique star aspect. It was a legendary existence. He had always heard of it, but he had never seen it. Now, it was right in front of him, which made him feel extremely shocked. As soon as the unique star aspect appeared, it immediately suppressed the power of the green demon godchild. The difference between the two was not very big. The unique star aspect was basically equivalent to a grade 6 star aspect. The difference was that there was no second unique star aspect, which made it even more special. After all, if they met an opponent with the same star aspect, it would be more troublesome. After all, they had the same power, and it was basically the same person. Therefore, the unique star aspect could be said to be the dream of everyone. Only then could they show their uniqueness. However, this did not happen to him, but to Yi Tianyan. However, he had the 6th level star Dharma idol, which was already above most of the others. It was not unique, but it was definitely the only one in a trillion. Before he had obtained the unique star Dharma aspect, he had thought that even if he would go up against the unique star Dharma aspect, he would still be able to suppress his opponent. After all, in terms of information, there wasn't much of a difference between the two. Now, the cruel reality had turned into a ruthless slap in his face. The difference between the two wasn't big. It was as big as a dog. Yi Tianyun's Dharma idol, which was unique to Yi Tianyun, was greatly weakened by the pressure. Even his aura was weakened. That's right, it's a unique star Dharma idol. However, in the outside world, there are no less than 100 people who have unique star Dharma idols. I'm just at the bottom of the pile. Yi Tianyun lied again, just to scare them. At the same time, the 5-colored Emperor Dragon behind him tore apart the green demon godchild's attack with a crushing force. At the same time, the 5-colored Emperor Dragon swung its tail and sent the green demon godchild flying. Boom! The green demon godchild smashed into the area full of 5-colored divine stones and blasted a big hole. In the first exchange, the green demon godchild had been sent flying and was at a disadvantage. Many of his subordinates' hearts sank. If Yi Tianyan was not lying, then with such a strong force, he was still at the bottom of the pile outside. How could they go out? If they really went out, wouldn't they die? I want you to die, die, die. The green demon godchild roared. A beam of green light shot into the sky, and the injuries on his body healed quickly. His green hair was even more exuberant, and it looked like he was wrapped up in a ball of green hair. At the same time, the power of the stars above began to flicker wildly. Suddenly, the power of the stars shrouded him from all directions and began to strengthen him. The green demon godchild was indeed the green demon godchild. He could control the power of the stars from all directions and was much stronger than the Star Lords outside. If they really went out, the outside world would really be occupied by them. Power of the stars from all directions? That's not enough. Yi Tianyan laughed. The 5-colored Emperor Dragon behind him opened its mouth and swallowed fiercely, devour the starry sky. Even the star power condensed by the level 6 starry Dharma idol was swallowed in one bite. The opponent did not even have a chance to resist before it was swallowed. In the blink of an eye, the star power that enveloped the green demon godchild was reduced by 3 directions. At the same time, it was quickly converted into Yi Tianyun's star power. 13 directions star power. The explosive 13 directions star power instantly shrouded the 5-colored Emperor Dragon and plated it with a thick layer of silver. It was as if a galaxy was attached to it, dazzling and resplendent. The stronger the star power, the stronger the power of the 5-colored Emperor Dragon. Vaguely, this illusion seemed to have the effect of materializing. This was different from the fusion of Yi Tianyun and the Star Dharma idol. The two were fighting side by side. What? The green demon godchild was shocked once again. Not only had his star power been devoured, but his opponent could also use it for his own use. Wasn't this a monster? Submit to me. Yi Tianyun's aura that looked down on the world was released in all directions. The legs of a group of green demons turned to jelly, and many of them knelt on the ground. They would only kneel to the elders and the others. But in the face of the powerful power released by Yi Tianyun, they could not even stand steadily. The green demon godchild did not admit defeat. He quickly waved his palm to block, but it was too late. He had underestimated his opponent too much. He did not even take out his weapon before he was slapped down by Etianyan. He was directly slapped to the ground. The hard ground cracked from his kneeling and looked like it was going to collapse at any time. Kneel down and submit. Etianyan's eyes turned cold. He continued to apply pressure with his palm, forcing the green demon godchild to kneel in front of him. The green demon godchild held on and refused to kneel no matter what. It was already a great humiliation to kneel, let alone to kneel. I can't accept this. The green demon godchild roared and wanted to jump up, but the terrifying power continued to pressure him, making it difficult for him to move. Surrender. Etianyan's hand continued to press down, and the arms that the green demon godchild used to support himself on the ground exploded. He fell to the ground and knelt in front of Etianyan, as if he was kneeling in front of Etianyan. In an instant, everyone's faces turned pale. The green demon godchild that they were so proud of was now kneeling in front of an outsider. It was definitely a great humiliation. Chapter 1950. The green demon godchild had knelt down in front of all his subordinates. Even if he wasn't willing, kneeling in front of Etianyan was a foregone conclusion. This humiliation would definitely be imprinted on the green demon race, and it would be difficult to erase it, especially since it was the green demon godchild and not any other green demon race. The green demon godchild was the current representative of the green demon race, but he was kneeling in front of Etianyan. It was a great humiliation. This move is so useful. The stronger the opponent, the more I can devour. Etianyan's eyes flashed. The green demon godchild's star power quality was not low. After devouring it, it would increase his star power by 3 units. If he devoured a lower grade star power, it would be good if he could increase his star power by 1 or 2 units with his current foundation. I'm going to kill you. The green demon godchild lay on the ground, unable to even lift his head. Under this pressure, his body was constantly bursting with wounds, and dark green blood flowed out. However, with his powerful healing ability, the wounds would heal again after bursting, so he wouldn't die so quickly. All he could do now was let out a low roar, yelling for revenge against Etianyan. Other than that, he had no other way to struggle. Is that so? Then go to hell now. Etianyan pressed down with his hand, and his power increased again. Even though his healing ability was strong, under the powerful destructive power, he could still be killed. In particular, he mobilized the strongest power of fire. The extreme heat followed his power and entered the green demon godchild's body, igniting the green demon godchild's flammable wood element. Fire countered wood. It was a foregone conclusion from the beginning. How dare you, outsider? Stop! An earth-shattering roar came from the depths of the ground. At the same time, a terrifying force pressed down, trying to save the green demon godchild. But it was too late. Etianyan's cold eyes showed that he was determined to kill Green Devil God's son, even if he had to sacrifice everything. If such a monstrous genius continued to live, he would definitely be a threat to cultivators. Although the lives of others had nothing to do with him, once this guy became stronger, he would also be a threat to his forces. Therefore, he wasn't doing this for others, but for himself. Letting him go was absolutely impossible. He had never had a habit of doing so. Die, bear! Surging flames instantly filled the body of the green demon godchild. The merciless flames devoured his power, and the extremely strong wood element was like an accelerant, making him burn even faster. "Ah, Father, save me!" After the green demon godchild shouted, it was already his last breath. By the time the intercepting attack arrived in front of Etianyan, the green demon godchild had been reduced to a pile of ashes. When the palm arrived in front of Etianyan, Etianyan could only hurriedly counterattack. He had used all his power to suppress the green demon godchild, so he naturally had no spare power to protect himself. It looked like he had easily suppressed the green demon godchild, but in fact, he had used all his strength. He did not dare to be careless. Boom! Etianyan took the attack head-on, and the powerful force sent him flying in one fell swoop. He broke several thick 5-color divine stones in a row before he finally stopped. What a powerful force! Etion came down from the five-colored divine stone. His body was sore, as if it had almost fallen apart. He raised his head and saw a middle-aged man of the green demon race standing in the middle of the pile of ashes. He reached out and grabbed the ashes, his body trembling. He must be the father of the green demon godchild. He was the king of the green demon clan, the green demon holy king. He felt a terrifying power from the green demon holy king, which far surpassed the green demon godchild's power. However, his cultivation was not at the Star of Venerable Realm. It was possible that his power was very close to the Star of Venerable Realm, or he had a terrifying bloodline in his body that made him so terrifying. You killed my son. The green demon holy king scattered the green ashes in his hand. There was pain in the depths of his eyes, but more of it was anger. His son was extremely talented and had a level 6 star Dharma idol. He was definitely the future hope of the Green Demon Clan, the leader of the Green Demon Clan. Even the Green Demon Holy King Star Idol was only at level 5. It was not at level 6 yet. After all, the one who had a level 6 Star Idol was the dead Great Ancestor. This meant that apart from the Green Demon Godchild, no one else had a level 6 Star Idol. At most, it was level 5. Now that the Green Demon Godchild was dead, it meant that there was no hope. What pained him more was the disappearance of hope, not the pain of losing his son. The Green Demon Godchild had spent a lot of resources to nurture him, but he was gone just like that. How could the Green Demon Godchild not feel pain? So what if I killed him? Am I supposed to stand here and be killed by him? Itianyan said calmly. He was extremely vigilant and kept staring at the Green Demon Holy King. Although the Green Demon Holy King only had a level 5-star idol, it did not mean that he was weak. As a demon lord, his power was definitely not simple. Yes, do what he tells you to do. The Green Demon Holy King stretched out his hand and clenched it. The life force in the surroundings trembled crazily. Even the power in Etienne's body was extracted. Now, it is time for you to go down with him. As he clenched his hand, a huge shadow appeared behind the Green Demon Holy King. A heavenly demon star floated behind him. The star power displayed by the 5th grade Star Dharma idol was 12 cubic meters of star power. Not only that, but there was a terrifying power in his body that kept being released. Behind the star idol, there was another layer of power. This layer of power seemed to have surpassed Star Lords and reached an even higher level. Star Venerate Blood? Etienne's eyes narrowed. His appraisal, I immediately saw through the buried power. It was the Star Venerate Blood. The Green Demon Holy King actually had the Star Venerate Blood in his body and could use it. Looks like you are quite capable. You can even see that I have the Star Venerate Blood. Surprise appeared in the Green Demon Holy King's eyes, but he quickly calmed down. I do have the Star Venerate Blood in my body. It was left behind by my ancestor and is under my control. This means that you are not facing a Star Lord, but a Star Venerate. The Green Demon Holy King snorted coldly. The Star Venerate's power soared into the sky. The originally dusky sky that still had some light instantly turned pitch black. This was the power to change the world. The power of a Star Venerate could move mountains and fill seas with just a slight movement. It could do anything. What a joke! Etianyan sneered. A Star Lord is a Star Lord in the end. Do you really think you are a Star Venerate just because you have a drop of blood? Who gave you such a good idea? Not to mention a drop of Star Venerate blood. Even if you have 10 drops, I will still kill you. Chapter 1951. Naive, too naive. Do you really think this is all the Star Venerable's blood can do? Mortals will always be mortals. You've never felt the power of a Star Venerable, so you think a Star Venerable is insignificant. The Green Demon Holy King looked at Etianyan with a sorrowful gaze, as if he was looking at an ignorant person. Everything was so insignificant. A Star Venerable is naturally not weak, but if a real Star Venerable was in front of me, I might be a bit afraid. But it's just a drop of blood, and you think you're invincible? You're the ignorant one. Etianyan did not hold back. He immediately mobilized the 5-colored Emperor Dragon's power and quickly transformed into his main body. Although he thought a drop of blood was nothing, the Green Demon Holy King was a powerful expert, So how could he not be cautious? After transforming into the main body of the five-colored Emperor Dragon, he used the devouring starry sky move to bite off a portion of the star power above the green demon Holy King, directly devouring the star power in all directions. This was domineering. It devoured the star power in all directions in one go, which was equivalent to 1/3 of the star power. Thinking about it carefully, it had always been at this level before. They had all devoured 1/3 of the opponent's power and turned it into their own. Now, Eteonyan immediately had 14 blocks of star power, and he was even more domineering than before. The silver lights scattered, and the five-colored Emperor Dragon's body became more solid. The domineering dragon power roared out in all directions. All demonic beasts had to bow their heads before him. This ability, as expected of a unique Star Dharma idol. The green demon, Holy King's eyes were filled with shock. It was the first time he had seen such a domineering ability. In theory, it was the second time. When the green demon divine son was fighting, he had paid some attention to the situation here. When he saw the danger, it was too late. The green demon divine son had already been killed. But that's all. The Star Venerable's blood in the green demon Holy King's body was taken out. A mere drop of blood floated in front of him. It looked like a simple drop of blood, but it contained extremely destructive power. If I didn't have this Star Venerable's blood, I might really have lost to you. Unfortunately, I have this Star Venerable's blood. From the beginning, victory was mine. The green demon Holy King did not underestimate his opponent. He knew very well how powerful his son was. Even his son was killed so easily. That person was definitely very strong. Under such circumstances, he would be a fool if he still underestimated his enemy. If he was a fool, he would not have become the Sage King here. Then he flicked his finger, and the drop of Star Venerable's blood quickly fused into his head. The next moment, a terrifying force shot up to the sky. The phantom behind him roared, and the astral power above him increased. Not only did it replenish the astral power that had been devoured, but also exploded to 15 cubic meters of astral power. 15 cubic meters of astral power was an even more shocking threshold. The heavenly demon star behind him became semi-solid and possessed the power to destroy heaven and earth. What was even more shocking was that the light that burst out from the star domain was actually able to suppress the unique Star Dharma idol. Even the most heaven-defying and unique Star Dharma idol would be suppressed by such a terrifying force, unable to lift its head. This was the difference in power. In the face of such great power, even a unique Star Dharma idol had to bow its head. Insignificant ant. The green demon Holy King looked at Tianyun, who had transformed into the five-colored Emperor Dragon. He waved his hand, and a giant heavenly demon palm pressed down. Tianyun went up to meet the attack and collided with the heavenly demon palm. The reality was very cruel. The giant five-colored Emperor Dragon, the insufferably arrogant five-colored Emperor Dragon, was slapped to the ground by the giant heavenly demon palm. Boom! A violent explosion rose up, and the green demons on the side were sent flying. It was an extremely terrifying power. Even though they were far away, they were still sent flying by the shockwaves. In this place, Grandmaster Xing was the real ant. He could be casually sent flying. Tianyun was slapped to the ground. Many of the dragon scales on his body were broken, and he was seriously injured. The next second, his body quickly shrank back, and he turned back into his own body. He was already covered in blood, and he looked very embarrassed. Just one move had caused him to be seriously injured, and he had been easily abused. This was the difference in power. Just a drop of blood could make the green demon Holy King's power reach the Star Venerable level in an instant. This meant that Tianyun wasn't facing a Star Venerable, but a Star Venerable. Star Venerable, Star Venerable. The more star power he controlled, the more powerful he would be. Tianyun's power seemed very insignificant in front of this terrifying power. Even if it was a five-colored Emperor Dragon, it was still slapped down. How is it? Do you feel how insignificant you are? The green demon Holy King looked at him with disdain, but he was still a little surprised. He thought that he could kill Yun with his palm. He didn't expect him to persevere, but this was no different from death. If he continued, Yun would definitely die. The Green Demon Holy King is invincible. The Green Demon Holy King is invincible. The Green Demon Holy King is too strong. The Green Demon Holy King is going to avenge the Green Demon Divine Son. Kill them all! Kill them all! They all screamed and cheered for the Green Demon Holy King's power. The Divine Son of the Green Demon race had been killed, and they were as sullen as they could be. Now, they could finally vent their frustrations. The Green Demon race was invincible and undefeatable. No, I only see how insignificant you are. Yun smiled calmly. He didn't care about the injuries on his body at all. He wasn't the one who was injured. Shameless boasting. It seems that you still don't know your own situation, even when death is at hand. The Green Demon Holy King was about to say something when he looked up and found that there was a rumbling sound coming from outside. It seemed that something was starting to close. It's going to close so soon this time? Yun's eyes narrowed. This meant that the gate of the Five-Element Mountain was about to close, and he wouldn't be able to get out. However, he couldn't leave even if he wanted to. The Green Demon Holy King in front of him wouldn't let him go. At the same time, the situation outside the Five-Element Mountain started to change. Groups of cultivators quickly flew out from inside, not daring to stay any longer. If he continued to stay inside, he would probably die inside. Unless their cultivation was very strong, they wouldn't dare to play around inside. They're out. Isn't the Five-Element Mountain closing too soon this time? That's not the point. There are groups of Green Demon race inside the Five-Element Mountain. What's going on? Are those Green Demon race sealed inside? Why are there so many? When I escaped, I saw that arrogant Star Lord fighting with the Green Demon race. It seems that he's being suppressed. Looks like this guy is dead for sure. He can't escape. Chapter 1952. This time, the gate of Five-Element Mountain was closed a little earlier. However, looking at the overall time, it wasn't too much earlier. It was just a little bit earlier. When a group of Star Masters and Star Lords escaped, many of them had lingering fears. They had all entered and seen the situation of the Green Demon clan. Some of them had just entered, but they were scared by the aura of Yun and the Green Demon Holy King. They didn't dare to go further. As more and more people came out, Five-Element Mountain was closed completely. The fog outside became thicker and shrouded the whole area. Now, anyone who wanted to break in would definitely get lost. If it didn't come out now, they basically wouldn't be able to come out. They could only wait for the next opening. Everyone looked around and didn't find Yun's figure. That arrogant Star Venerate is indeed trapped inside. I guess he's not trapped inside, he's dead inside. Didn't that arrogant Star Lord say he wanted to challenge the ancestral land of the Jade God? Now he's dead inside. There's nothing to see. Challenge the ancestral land of the Jade God? He can't even kill the Green Demon clan. How could he challenge the ancestral land of the Jade God? Yeah, the ancestral land of the Jade God is much stronger than the declining Green Demon clan. Now, he's probably dead inside and can't come out. A group of people are constantly talking about Yun. They don't have a good impression of Yun, and they're all gloating over his misfortune. Han Long and the others who had escaped felt their hearts sink when they heard this. But Han Long reacted swiftly, and he immediately brought Qing Xue along to hide at the side and didn't dare stay here in the slightest. If someone didn't like Yun and recognize them, they would definitely suffer. I want to wait for Lord to come out. Qing Xue struggled and didn't want to be dragged away by Han Long. If we want to wait, we should wait in a corner. If we are found by Lord's enemies, I'm afraid we won't live to see the day Lord comes out. Han Long was very calm. A true loyal servant didn't have to stubbornly die. Waiting here for Yun to come out was a good choice. Qing Xue's jaw dropped as she looked around at the cultivators from the Jade Divinity Ancestral Land and realized that Han Long was right. If he acted recklessly, he wouldn't even know how he died. Fairy Fan Yu also came out. She did not say anything after hearing the news. She brought the center back to the ancestral ground and sped up. Let's go back and tell the elder about the situation and see if we can go in and find him when there's a mist. Fairy Fan Yu was in a hurry to go back, not to run away from here. As someone from Tian Fan Ancestral Land, no one would find trouble with her. More than anything else, she wanted to find a way to save him. However, what they were discussing here was that Tianyun was doomed. Even if the Five Elements Mountain was opened, he would still die inside. After all, they had to face so many Green Devil race members inside. How could they possibly survive? Some were emotional, some were gloating, and some felt extremely refreshed. Every cultivator had a different mentality. Among them, the Qingdan family was the happiest. That guy is doomed. Qing Shui wants him to be her backer. She's dreaming. Qing Shui's choice of this path was truly a mistake. However, it was a mistake when he faced the Jade Divinity Ancestral Land. That's right. Fortunately, we got rid of him in time. The people of the Qingdan family were also discussing. They felt that their choice was very wise. The people of the Jade Divinity Ancestral Land had another idea. I heard that the Star Lord who offended our Jade Divinity Ancestral Land was in control of the Celestial Terminus Ancestral Land. If that's the case, let's report it to the higher-ups and reclaim the Celestial Terminus Ancestral Land. Yes, reclaim the Celestial Terminus Ancestral Land. Kill anyone who dares to resist. The Jade Divinity Ancestral Land still had Grandmaster Xing alive. They could only go back and report the situation. They couldn't take revenge on Tianyun, but reclaiming the Celestial Terminus Ancestral Land was not a problem. Especially since the Metal Wind Star Lord had died, it would definitely provoke the Jade Divinity Ancestral Land. While the outside world was in an uproar, the experts were still fighting inside. The gate is closed. It seems you can't leave even if you want to. The Green Demon Holy King said with a cold smile, "Do you think I should let you live and have fun here? Or should I kill you now?" Anyway, the gate was closed. No matter how strong Tianyun was, he couldn't escape. When he said that he would let Tianyun have fun here, he obviously didn't mean that he would let Tianyun travel around freely. He just wanted to let him live and think of ways to torture him. How could he let Tianyun go so easily to avenge his son's death? It seems that you really think that you can kill me with just a drop of Star Venerable's blood? Tianyun said with a smile. Even though he was covered in blood, he still maintained his calm expression. Isn't it? Do you think you can kill me in your current state? The Green Demon Holy King said coldly. Unless you also have Star Venerable's blood, do you think you can turn the situation around? I don't have Star Venerable's blood, but in this world, you can't rely on this to become stronger. You can also use your own strength to become stronger. Tianyun's clothes floated up, his aura rose continuously, and his wounds healed quickly. Isn't that obvious? Do you want to break through to Star Venerable here? The Green Demon Holy King laughed mockingly. He felt that Tianyun was stupid. I don't need to break through to Star Venerable to deal with you. Tianyun's eyes flashed, and he said with a smile, "Originally, I wanted to hold back a little longer, but when I thought about how I could break through, because of your contributions, I'll repay you." In the next moment, an even stronger energy burst out of his body, and his basic strength rose layer by layer. His cultivation rose from middle stage Star Venerable to late stage Star Venerable in one go. Previously, he had just broken through to middle stage Star Venerable, and now he could break through to late stage Star Venerable. This had a lot to do with him killing the Metal Wind Star Venerable. When he came here, he killed the Green Demon Holy Sun and many green demons. This allowed his star energy to accumulate quickly, and he could break through to late stage Star Venerable. This time, his gains in the Five Element Mountain were really shocking. He broke through to late stage Star Venerable in one go. Even if no one could do it in the future, it was unprecedented. When the strong energy burst out, the Green Demon Holy King still had a look of disdain on his face. "Oh, you even broke through a little. But even if you broke through, you can't be stronger than Star Venerable's blood." Before he could finish his words, the situation that unfolded quickly made him speechless. In the starry sky above, Etianyan originally grasped 14 cubes of star energy. Now he reached 16 cubes of star energy in one go, becoming even more heaven-defying. Chapter 1953. This was the strongest state Etianyan had ever reached. This was because he had devoured the other party's star power, which was why he could reach such a strong level. Assuming that he didn't have the astral power of the 4, he would only have the astral power of 12. This was already heaven-defying, especially when it was built on the unique starry Dharma phase. The effect was even more shocking. With the support of the 16 stars, the 5-colored Emperor Dragon also began to transform into a more solid form. It looked much more solid. Compared to the opponent's Heavenly Demon Star, it was much more solid. The key was the increase in strength, which reached an unprecedented level. Roar! Above the starry domain, the 5-colored Emperor Dragon, which was originally suppressed by the Heavenly Demon Star, started to roar crazily. Resplendent light covered the entire starry domain. The Heavenly Demon Star, which had seemed very powerful, was immediately suppressed and became somewhat dim and lightless. This was the effect of breaking through. Etianyan felt very comfortable every time. Indeed, one had to increase their cultivation to reach a stronger level. By relying on one's own strength, one could erupt with an unparalleled effect. This was not a feeling that could be obtained from treasures or medicinal pills. Only when one's own strength was absolute strength. 10-16 star power. The Green Demon Holy King was shocked. He had never expected Etianyan to reach such a strong level. He thought that even if Etianyan broke through a level, it would only increase his strength by a little. He would still be far from the Star of Venerate's blood. But now his strength kept increasing, reaching an even more shocking level. He was even scarier than them. Destroy! Etianyan turned into the 5-colored Emperor Dragon. Even if he broke through to the late-stage Star of Venerate, he did not dare to be careless. When it was time to erupt, he would not hold back at all. With a heavy strike, the huge claw that could tear everything apart ruthlessly tore downwards. The Green Demon Holy King's Heavenly Demon Hand could not resist at all. Even with the support of the Star of Venerate's blood, it was still torn to pieces. Whoosh! The Green Demon Holy King was torn to pieces and fell heavily to the ground, kicking up a mushroom cloud. The hard 5-colored godstones in the surroundings were all blasted to pieces. Green Demon Holy King. They looked down in shock. The Green Demon Holy King, who was in an invincible state, was immediately killed. That was the Star of Venerable's blood. Even with the support of such a powerful Star of Venerable's blood, he was still suppressed. Voila! The Green Demon Holy King charged out from the crater. His body flashed with green light as he quickly healed his injured body. There were ghastly scratches on his body that almost tore him into pieces. The current situation was similar to being torn into several pieces. There were a few parts where only a bit of skin was left, as if they would fall off at the slightest touch. However, with his powerful recovery ability, he quickly reattached them. This power, how did it increase so much? Green Demon Holy King's eyes were filled with shock. Before he could recover, Etianyan's attack came again. Etianyan wouldn't wait for him to recover before continuing to fight with him. He wouldn't do such a stupid thing. Facing such powerful power, Green Demon Holy King's face fell. In his current situation, he probably wouldn't even be able to block this move. Even if he had powerful recovery ability, he wouldn't be able to block this move. After all, if his recovery speed was slower than the speed at which he was injured, he would still die. Burn all of it. Green Demon Holy King ignited the floating Star Venerable's blood. At that moment, the drop of Star Venerable's blood started to burn crazily and started to disappear bit by bit. His eyes became bloodshot, and the life force around him was quickly sucked out. I didn't expect that I would be forced into such a situation by you. I could have used this drop of Star Venerable's blood forever. For you, I can only burn this drop of blood. After Green Demon Holy King burned this drop of blood, his Star Venerable power erupted. Starlight descended from the sky and sprinkled on his body. In an instant, All the injuries on his body recovered. There weren't any visible wounds on his body. Not only that, but his power rose to another level. It was as if he entered a special state, Star Venerable state. He started to possess the Star Venerable realm. Even though his power hadn't reached the Star Venerable level yet, his state had become a Star Venerable. As he raised his hand, the surrounding star power was drawn over. Even the star power on Etienne's side was drawn over. This was a venerable who could control star power. All star power was under his control. The data in Etienne's appraisal, I jumped crazily. Just by fusing with this drop of blood, Green Demon Holy King's overall power had increased by more than 10 times. This drop of Star Venerable's blood was indeed powerful. Diant! Green Demon Holy King slapped the air and used the Heavenly Demon Hand. This was a Star Sector level martial art, and its power had increased. The fog in the sky was scattered by this palm. I've said it before, unless you're a real Star Venerable, everything else is meaningless to me. Etienne's eyes flickered. He, who had turned into the 5-colored Emperor Dragon, soared into the air again. The 5 colors in his body fused together and turned into a shocking energy that gathered in his mouth. He then shot it at Green Demon Holy King. Chaos Rage. The giant beam of mixed light instantly turned into a faint yellow light. This was chaotic power. The 5 elements fused together to form the most primitive power, chaotic power. When the beam of light that could destroy everything came into contact with the huge heavenly demon hand, it immediately melted it. It was like an iceberg coming into contact with a scorching flame. It melted in an instant, and it melted very quickly. In the blink of an eye, the beam of light pierced through the heavenly demon hand and bombarded Green Demon Holy King's body, causing it to explode. This was an absolute suppression of power. Even if he ignited a Star Venerable's blood, it would still be useless, and he would still be destroyed by the cannon. It was all thanks to Green Demon Holy King that he could use such shocking power. If it wasn't for Green Demon Holy King, he really wouldn't have been able to use it. After all, the Wrath of Chaos could only be performed with more than 15 cubic meters of astral power. The previous moves were the same. Without the corresponding star power, he couldn't use the corresponding moves. After erupting, the Chaos Fury gave him a boost in strength, increasing his damage by a whopping 20 times. Correspondingly, after the eruption, Etienne felt like his body was emptied and a lot of his power was consumed. At the same time, the star aspect in the sky dimmed. Chapter 1954. As a huge mushroom cloud rose, everything was blasted into nothingness by this cannon. Even the tough 5-color divine stones in the surroundings were blasted into nothingness. Under normal circumstances, these 5-color divine stones were very hard to destroy. However, this was only for Grandmaster Xing and below. To Etienne and the others, it was simply easy to destroy. If they were to mine, it would naturally be very easy. However, it was simply a waste for Star Venerates to mine. No matter how fast they could mine, it was still not worth it. With their cultivation, there were too many things they could do. For example, they could search for various treasures or divine medicines. These were extremely valuable. One stock was worth tens of thousands of 5-colored divine stones. Even if they dug for many years or decades, they would not be able to match the value of one stock. Green Demon Holy King. The many subordinates gaped as they looked at the area of the explosion. If even the Green Demon Holy King died, then they were truly finished. If the strongest one died, then what else could they do to deal with Etienne? After the explosion dissipated, a huge crater appeared in front of the demons. Etienne lowered his head and looked down. What he saw was the Green Demon Holy King lying on the ground. His entire body had been blasted away, leaving only a small part of his body. The only part that was relatively intact was his head. The head looked like it was protected by an energy. If the head had been blasted away, then his soul would have been severely injured. This was a rather dangerous matter. This power, why is it so much stronger than mine? The Green Demon Holy King slowly floated up, and his entire body started to recover. In the blink of an eye, his body recovered, and he started to recover his limbs. It seemed like he still had the strength to recover. However, he still looked very weak, and his condition was rather poor. Most importantly, the star venerate blood covering his body had completely disappeared. Without the support of the star venerate blood, he was nothing in front of Eteonyon. Great! The green demon Holy King is not dead. The demon started to cheer. As long as the green demon Holy King was not dead, there was still hope. His life is really tough. However, everything ends here. Eteonyon twisted his body and pressed down with his huge claws. Since he was not dead, then he would kill him completely now. When the giant claw slammed down, all the devils cried out in alarm and rushed over to defend themselves. But with their bodies, how could they withstand Eteonyon's tyrannical strength? Just as it struck, a bunch of Grandmaster Xing were smashed into meat paste. Grandmaster Xing, who was held in high regard outside, was easily killed here. He seemed worthless. You're really loyal, then go to hell. Eteonyon wouldn't stop. No matter how many people came, he would kill them all. Now, not to mention Grandmaster Xing, even a star venerate would be smashed into meat paste with one slap. The domineering astral power from the 16 directions was no joke. Green Demon Holy King, who was below, did not feel anything. Everything was to be expected. It's impossible to defeat me. Green Demon Holy King roared angrily. 2 drops of star venerable blood instantly appeared in his hands. Green Demon Holy King had never thought that he would still have 2 drops of star venerable blood. This wasn't beyond Eteonyon's expectations. Since the Green Demon race had star venerates, they definitely had more than 1 drop of star venerable blood. The ancestral land of the Jade God could be so tyrannical because it also had star venerates. These were their trump cards. They didn't have star venerates, but they had star venerates blood. After using it, they could explode with nature-defying power and suppress all star venerates. Without star venerates, they were invincible. From the Green Demon race, it could be seen what the ancestral land of the Jade God was relying on to be arrogant. Not only did they have star venerates resources, but they also had star venerates blood. No wonder those star venerates could only choose to retreat when they heard about the ancestral land of the Jade God. This time, you'll definitely die. Green Demon Holy King really threw caution to the wind. He immediately absorbed 2 drops of star venerable blood and ignited them. Previously, he couldn't deal with Eteonyon with 1 drop. Now that he ignited 2 drops, could he still not deal with him? As he ignited 2 drops of star venerable blood, a terrifying power soared into the sky. The star power in the sky kept increasing. In one breath, it rushed to 17 star power. It was much stronger than before. Sure enough, after burning 2 drops of star venerable blood, the improvement became even more obvious. His state was closer to that of star venerable. Heavenly Demon Hand. Green Demon Holy King roared and used Heavenly Demon Hand. With the support of 2 drops of star venerable blood, its power became even more terrifying. The huge palm enveloped the entire area. Even the huge body of the 5-colored Emperor Dragon was blown up within it. Even the power of the stars above was blocked. Even if you still have star venerable blood, I'll still suppress you. Eteonyon mobilized all of his power. Facing such an attack, he didn't hesitate. He still opened his giant mouth and gathered the chaotic anger again. But this time, it gathered in circles and didn't erupt so quickly. Terrifying power gathered in waves. This time, he compressed it crazily, compressing it in circles. At the same time, the energy in the surrounding 5-color divine stones was quickly extracted. It was a perfect area. The 5-color divine stones contained the power of the 5 elements, which was also very suitable for the 5-colored Emperor Dragon. With the perfect combination, the energy in the 5-color divine stones was extracted. After the energy in some of the 5-color divine stones was extracted, they became transparent. Eteonyon didn't absorb this energy into his body. Instead, he turned it into an attack. The 5-colored Emperor Dragon always had the ability to absorb the energy around it crazily. This time, In this perfect area, it could be used even more. As it kept superimposing, the energy light ball became more and more powerful. It was almost beyond what he could control. If he absorbed it into his body, he definitely wouldn't be able to convert it so quickly. But if he released it directly and compressed it into an attack, it would be a completely different state. If he didn't do this, he probably wouldn't be able to suppress Green Demon Holy King. After absorbing 2 drops of Star Venerable blood, the Green Demon Holy King had become much stronger. He hadn't wanted to use this move, but since things had come to this, he had no choice but to use it. This move was very powerful, but it also had a great weakness. It needed time to gather. As it gathered, the heavenly demonic hand slapped down, slapping heavily on the 5-colored Emperor Dragon's body. Boom! The 5-colored Emperor Dragon was slapped heavily, and it almost fell. But Tianyin held on. Even though his back was badly mutilated and his body was about to collapse, he still held on. Just hold on a little longer. Tianyin held on. As expected of an attack that had absorbed 2 drops of Star Venerable blood, he almost couldn't hold on. If it continued, he definitely wouldn't be able to hold on. The Green Demon Holy King, who was below, also felt the terrifying power. If it continued to attack, he would definitely die. Even the area around him would cease to exist. Chapter 1955. Get down here. The Green Demon Holy King once again formed the Sky Demon hand and slammed it down towards Tianyin. However, when the giant palm slammed down, Tianyin was only slightly pressed down. He refused to be slapped down no matter what. He held on like this and would not be slapped down no matter what. Once he was slapped down, he would definitely lose. Finally, after condensing for a period of time, it reached an extreme power. Condensed, Tianyin's eyes were cold, and everything gathered in front of him. Such a destructive power in the next moment, like a storm of lightning and thunder, bombarded in front of him. Chaos Rage. Boom! Compared to the first Chaos Rage, it was several times more powerful. It ruthlessly blasted down towards the Green Demon Holy King. At the same time, the Green Demon Holy King also slammed down on Tianyin's body. Bang! Tianyin was not much better off. He was slapped down. In the next second, he shrank and returned to his original form. He fell from the sky like a meteor. The Green Demon Holy King was enveloped by the Chaos Rage. The power compressed to the extreme didn't even touch the Green Demon Holy King and exploded in all directions. The violent power swept through everything, covering a radius of millions of miles. Everything was melted by this terrifying power. No, no, no. The Green Demon Holy King roared, but his recovery ability couldn't make up for his damage. His body was quickly engulfed by this attack and completely disappeared from this world. A large number of green demons in the surroundings were engulfed by this attack. Only a small number of green demons were not affected because they were far away. Soon, the explosion dissipated and an even larger crater appeared on the ground. Only a small portion of the corpses were found here. Most of them directly turned into powder and dissipated. They looked over in shock. A moment later, they quickly searched in this direction. After a full circle, they couldn't find the Green Demon Holy King's body. The Green Demon Holy King is dead? Dead? They were dazed. Their king died just like that. This time, not only did the Green Demon Divine Son die, but even the Green Demon Holy King died. This was a huge loss for the Green Devil race. Initially, he had wanted to conquer the outside world. But now, let alone conquer the outside world, he couldn't even protect himself. Then what about the outsiders? Quick, go find him. The soldiers of the Green Demon race did not stay here foolishly. Instead, they immediately turned around to look for Tianyin. Tianyin must have been severely injured after receiving such a powerful attack, making it difficult for him to move. As long as they could find him and kill him, even if there were losses on this side, at least they could get rid of a scourge. If they attacked again, they wouldn't be able to withstand it. However, after looking around, they did not find any trace of Tianyin. All they saw was a pool of blood on the ground, which meant that Tianyin had been here before. Where is he? He actually escaped? They were shocked. Tianyun had clearly suffered such a powerful attack, yet he was still able to endure it. It was truly inconceivable. Quickly search for him. Where did he hide? With such heavy injuries, he definitely can't have gone far. They quickly searched the surroundings for Tianyun, wanting to find him as soon as possible. At the same time, Tianyun really did crawl to his feet and flee to the side. Even though he was seriously injured, escaping was not a problem. He quickly found a cave and hurriedly hid in it. Then, he concealed his aura and started to heal his injuries. His injuries were very serious, mainly because he had consumed a shocking amount of energy. I can't die this time. Tianyun shook his head. He was not like in the lower realms, where he could resurrect infinitely. There was no resurrection here, which meant that resurrection in the lower realms was not applicable here. It also meant that he was going to die here, which meant that he would really die here. But the harvest this time is really rich. Tianyun's eyes flashed. He had not only obtained a shocking amount of star energy, but he had also obtained the Star Venerable's blood. After killing the Green Demon Holy King, he had obtained the Star Venerable's blood. The Green Demon Holy King had used up all of it, and now there was an extra. How could it not be a pleasant surprise? The Star Venerable's blood was also suitable for him, and it could still exert a shocking effect. It was a powerful trump card. Unfortunately, the amount was very limited, and there was only one drop. But Tianyun did not feel that it was a pity. It was fine as long as he had it. He did not expect it to help him much. After all, it was not his own power. No matter how strong it was, it would only be invincible against Star Lords. Against Star Venerables, it would be nothing. A drop of blood was like someone else's saliva. It cannot be used up. Then, he quickly immersed himself in healing his injuries. If the system could be upgraded, he would not have to worry too much. I wonder what the situation in the lower realms is like now. Tianyun slowly closed his eyes. He did not know what the situation in the lower realms was like, but he believed that the progress would not be slow. With so much power, he would definitely be able to rule the lower realms. As for when it would be completed, it was really unknown. While he was hiding and healing, the Jade God's ancestral land outside was extremely furious. It sent a group of strong people to the celestial terminus ancestral land, intending to occupy it. Under the attack of a large group of strong people, the celestial terminus ancestral land, which had been set up well, collapsed in an instant. Those who resisted could only be cannon fodder. They were suppressed in the blink of an eye. It would be fine if they surrendered, but if they did not, they would die. Most of them did not surrender. However, they did not defend it. Instead, they chose to escape from the celestial terminus ancestral land. They hid in a corner and waited for an opportunity. We are doomed. We are doomed. We have offended the Jade God's ancestral land. I'm afraid there is no hope for us. It is Tianyun's fault. If it were not for him, we would not be in such a situation. Shut up. A man came forward. If Tianyun had been here, he would have recognized him as Gong Yang, the practitioner he had met when he had just come up from the lower realms. Gong Yang came forward and said sternly, "If it were not for Brother Tianyun, we would not have freedom. I guess we would still be mining until we die. Do you want to experience the feeling of not being able to die, even if you want to? I would rather die than be a slave." Yes, I would rather die than be a slave. They all chose to support Tianyun. However, some felt that Tianyun had offended the Jade God's ancestral land. If he had not offended them, they would have been safe. Chapter 1956. Empyrean Terminus Ancestral Land fell and was quickly taken over by Jade God Ancestral Land. There was no doubt about this. Originally, the cultivator relied on Tianyun to turn the situation around. Now that Tianyun wasn't here, they couldn't stabilize their situation. Especially when Jade God Ancestral Land personally sent experts, they quickly collapsed. Especially Jade God Ancestral Land, they sent people to kill. Those who resisted were killed without exception. Some didn't even resist and were killed anyway. This was the extremely domineering Jade God Ancestral Land. Goldwind Star Sovereign was killed, causing Jade God Ancestral Land to lose face. Now, Eteonyun was dead because of the Green Devil race. It had nothing to do with Jade God Ancestral Land. Jade God Ancestral Land couldn't find Eteonyun to take revenge, so they could only vent their anger on Empyrean Terminus Ancestral Land. This place became hell on earth. Those who managed to escape were full of complaints, and many of them cursed Eteonyun for provoking the Jade God Ancestral Land. Everything was fine, but now they had to suffer. Some protected him, some cursed, and some felt pity. All the cultivators had different thoughts. They were like a plate of loose sand that scattered at the slightest touch. Those who supported Eteonyun were few and far between. Not many would defend Eteonyun. After all, Eteonyun was dead. Who would defend him? Even if he didn't die, he would die for provoking Jade God Ancestral Land if he could escape. But there was still a group of people who believed that Eteonyun wasn't dead. They continued to wait for Eteonyun's return. At the same time, they gathered a group of cultivators and hid in the dark to cultivate. This group was naturally Dangfeng, Alchemy God, and the others. They definitely supported Eteonyun. No matter what Eteonyun did, they would choose to support him. In their opinion, Eteonyun must have his reasons for provoking Jade God Ancestral Land. However, they weren't very clear about the exact reason behind it. In short, those who originally trusted Eteonyun felt that he was too arrogant and could not be trusted. Basically, he lost the trust of the people. Eteonyun was not clear about the situation in the Empyrean Terminus Ancestral Land. He had been recuperating all this time. Even if he knew what was going on outside, it would be difficult for him to leave. There was no way to leave this place using teleportation godstones. The fog around him was a kind of seal that trapped him here. Naturally, he couldn't leave. While he was recovering, many Green Demon race members were constantly searching for him. He tried to dodge as much as he could. The damage he suffered was too heavy, and it wasn't something that could be easily recovered. After being struck by the Green Demon Holy King several times in a row, and it was an attack that had been infused with 2 drops of Star Venerable blood, no matter how strong his defense was, he could not bear such a strong force. Previously, he had held on with all his might. He knew that if he didn't hold on, it would be his death. If he took the Star Venerable's blood, he might be able to recover quickly. The Star Venerable's blood contained a strong wood element power, and it possessed a strong healing power. After all, the Green Demon race was best at wood element power, which meant that their healing power was relatively strong. However, he didn't want to waste it. It was like he had another life. He wouldn't waste it unless it was a critical moment. He had already changed several hiding places. In fact, he wasn't afraid of facing 1 or 2 green demons. But if he was exposed, it wouldn't be so easy for him to escape. After all, this was their territory. Once they surrounded him, he wouldn't be able to escape easily. If he had no choice but to use the Star Venerable's blood, it would be a waste. Someone else is coming. Eteonyun suddenly opened his eyes and stared ahead. He felt the aura of the Green Demon race approaching. If he kept coming, his position would definitely be exposed. He quickly stood up and moved to the side quietly. His body flashed, and he floated to the side. He really wanted to leave this area with 5-color divine stones. As long as he left, he would be completely safe. The Green Demon race couldn't leave this area, but he could. The two were completely different. But now the gate was closed. Even the gate inside was closed. How could he go out? If it weren't for this, he would have rushed out long ago. He wouldn't have needed to treat his injuries here. No matter how hard he tried, he had to escape rather than stay here. This was the Green Demon race's territory. There were giant beasts outside. It would be much safer than here. There were many giant beasts outside, but they were all alone. They weren't as intelligent as here. They would come in groups. It would be difficult to resist them. When he was about to leave and hide in the side, several green demons surrounded him. They basically sealed off this area. Damn it, I'm trapped. It seems like I can only risk my life this time. Eteonyun's eyes turned cold. He was ready to fight. It wasn't difficult to kill these green demons in one go. Even if he hadn't recovered completely, it wouldn't be difficult for him to kill them. A starving camel was still bigger than a horse. No matter how heavily injured he was still a Star-Lord. Just as he was about to fight, the ground suddenly trembled. Then a figure climbed up from below. Etion quickly dodged to the side and stared coldly at the ground. They actually sneak attack from below. These green demons know how to dig holes? Just as Etion was about to attack, a crisp voice came from below. "Big brother, quickly hide here." A small head popped out of the small hole. If one looked carefully, one would find that the hair was multicolored. The eyes that were revealed were also multicolored. If one looked carefully, one would find that it was a little girl that looked like she was carved out of jade. She was waving at him. How was this the green demon race? It was a completely different race. Etion didn't even think and immediately hid inside. To him, as long as it wasn't the green demon race, there was no problem. After hiding inside, the little girl immediately closed the top. There was no gap at all. It didn't look like it had been opened earlier. At this time, the green demon race came in. After looking around, he said loudly, "There's no one here. Look elsewhere." Where did this outsider hide? No matter how we look, we can't find him. How long has it been? There's no trace at all. Could it be that this guy escaped? But that's not right. The door is closed. Where can he escape to? Don't tell me he was rescued by those guys. How is that possible? Those guys are so xenophobic. Why would they save an outsider? Their voices spread further and further. Soon, they couldn't hear what they were saying. Etion turned his head to look to the side. The little girl was standing in front of him. She was surrounded by multicolored light. This multicolored divine stone could be used as a lamp, illuminating this place very clearly. Even without this light, he could clearly see the little girl's condition. Chapter 1957. Etion was dumbfounded. He did not expect to be saved by a little girl, and not from the same race at that. According to the green demon race outside, she seemed to be from another race in the same area, and she seemed to be very xenophobic and unfriendly. But if she was really unfriendly, why would she save him? Etion looked the little girl up and down. Apart from her hair color, her eyes seemed to emit a faint light, and she looked at him curiously. Etion was very curious about her, and she was also very curious about Etion. Overall, her cultivation was not high, only at the level of a Star Master. Even so, she was not very old. Staying in the area of the five-color divine stone, no matter how bad her talent was, with such a dense energy, it would not be bad. "Why did you save me?" Etion thought for a while, and finally decided to ask about the situation. "You're not a bad person." The little girl tilted her head and thought for a while, then said, "I'm not a bad person." Etion immediately smiled, looked at her, and said, "How do you know I'm not a bad person? You killed the people of the green demon race, so you're not a bad person." Although the little girl said this, there was still some timidity in her eyes, and she did not dare to get too close. Facing such a strange existence, she still had to be vigilant. "I killed the people of the green demon race, so I'm not a bad person?" Etion was startled. He did not expect such a thing. "In that case, those who helped you kill the green demon race are not bad people." The little girl tilted her head, then shook it and said, "It is not like that. I felt a very familiar aura from you, as if you were similar to us, so I saved you. Also, you killed the people of the green demon race, so you are definitely not a bad person." Familiar aura? Etion thought for a while and immediately knew what was going on. The familiar feeling she was talking about was actually the aura of the five-colored Emperor Dragon, which was similar to the power of the five elements. The little girl in front of him clearly did not have the slightest bit of dragon bloodline. With a sweep of the appraisal eyes, detailed information immediately appeared. The five-color divine race, a race that relies on the five-color divine stone to survive. They possess great power and control the power of the five elements. Five-color god race. Etion's eyes flashed. He finally understood why he was so hostile towards the green demon race. Not to mention the green demon race. Even the other races wanted to capture the five-color god race when they saw them. His entire body was a treasure. There was no way they would let him go. Their bloodlines contain dense, five-colored energy, which would be extremely beneficial to one's cultivation if one were to absorb it. As for the green demon race, they wanted to suck it dry. It was equivalent to an extremely concentrated five-colored godstone. So how could they not want to absorb it? Yes, you have an aura that is familiar to us, but you're not one of us. You are a human. The little girl tilted her head, thinking about something. Of course I'm not one of your clansmen. Anyway, do you know how to get out of here? Etionyun felt a headache as to how to get out. The path was sealed. Even though he was a star venerate, it was not easy for him to escape. The existence that set up this place far surpassed his cultivation. Suppressing him did not give him any pressure at all. I don't know about that. The elders might know, but if they knew about you, they would definitely chase you out or kill you. The little girl shook her head. You are indeed quite xenophobic. Etionyun shook his head. You are not xenophobic, and you are even willing to save me. If the other elders knew that I killed the green demon race, would they still reject me? They will. You're all not good people. You will all capture us. The little girl pouted, feeling extremely angry. Etionyun felt awkward. Although he was not very clear about this, they were both precious spirit herbs, so they would definitely be taken away. But you don't reject me. Etionyun shook his head. You killed the holy king of the green demon race. He killed my parents. The little girl's eyes dimmed, and sorrow welled up in her. Etionyun was silent. No wonder the little girl chose to save him. It turned out that she wanted to take revenge. Otherwise, she would not have come out. Even if she had a familiar aura, she would not have come out. Cough, cough. Is there no other way for me to get out? Etionyun hurried to change the topic. If he stayed on this topic, the little girl would definitely cry. Compared to this, he really wanted to leave this place. He had gotten what he wanted, so it was about time to leave. Although he was somewhat curious about this place, the current situation did not seem very good. Not only did he not get anything good, but he also got injured. Of course, killing so many green demons had helped his cultivation advance quickly, which was pretty good, especially when he had gotten the Star Venerate's blood. The most important thing was the situation of the Jade God Ancestral Land. He guessed that if he had not shown up, they would have attacked the Celestial Pole Ancestral Land. Who knew that the Five Elements Mountain would close so soon? They also did not know that the treasures inside were actually a pile of green demons. It was a complete scam. I can only ask, the little girl said after remaining silent for a while. But since you helped me take revenge, I will help you find some information. If I can't find anything, you can stay in my place. As long as you don't wander around, you can go out smoothly when the next time the mountain opens. The Five Elements Mountain would not close forever. It would open again. At that time, Etionyun would be able to go out easily. But the next time would be many years later. How long would he have to wait? At that time, the Celestial Pole Ancestral Land would be completely destroyed. What he cared more about was his own faction. If it continued to be controlled by the Jade God Ancestral Land, it would be extremely disgusting. All right, lead the way then. Etionyun could only rely on the little girl now. He hoped she could find a way out. Follow me. The little girl waved her hand and trotted forward. She turned into a gust of wind and moved forward. Etionyun followed closely. Soon, a strange scene appeared. When she left the area, the passage behind her quickly closed and returned to its original appearance. This was no longer a passage, but a type of drilling technique. She could go wherever she wanted. There was no need to dig a hole or anything like that. Following the little girl's lead, she ran for a while before stopping. We are here. Don't release your aura later. If I am detected, I will be punished. The little girl nodded to him. Then, she waved her hand and a hole appeared above. Then, she led Etionyun up. After going up, it was a small house with many exquisite furnishings. Everything was decorated warmly. There was no doubt that this was the little girl's room. As soon as she came back, there was a knock on the door. Dong, 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 Kai Shui, are you inside? Chapter 1958. The moment the door was pushed open, Kai Shui was dumbfounded. She did not think that there would be such a coincidence. It was too late to reopen the tunnel now. Everything had been filled up. Tianyin wanted to hide, but there was no place to hide. This place was too spacious. There was basically no place to hide. As for any invisibility techniques, they were useless. The weakest cultivation here was probably at the Star Apostle level. There was no way to use it. Following that, a beautiful woman pushed open the door and entered. When she saw Tianyin and Kai Shui, she was stunned. She did not think that there would be an unfamiliar man in this room. The key was that this unfamiliar man was not from the five-color divine race. At this moment, Tianyin's body moved. He immediately arrived in front of the woman. He extended his hand and quickly tapped on her body a few times, sealing her power. At the same time, he dragged her in and quickly closed the door. Everything happened in an instant. This kind of technique scared Kai Shui. She did not think that Tianyin would be so fast. Don't hurt my sister. Kai Shui rushed forward. She was worried that Tianyin would hurt her sister. Obviously, in the face of kinship, she was more concerned about her family. This was human nature. Kai Shui bringing Tianyin back was already against the rules. Cough, cough. I did not hurt her. I was just afraid that she would cause some chaos. If it was discovered, you would be punished. Tianyin coughed lightly and said, I only sealed her power. You two can have a good chat later. I really did not mean to hurt you. I just wanted to leave this place. The girl who was caught opened her mouth wide. She looked at Tianyin in a daze. She was also shocked by the scene in front of her. Her cultivation was not high, but no matter what, she had the cultivation of a Star Master late stage. She was easily sealed. The opponent had at least the cultivation of a Star Master. An expert with this level of cultivation had actually sneaked in and entered her sister's room. She wanted to speak, but she couldn't utter a single word. Her entire body was sealed, so she naturally couldn't speak. Shortly after, Tianyin looked at her and warned, Later, I'll decipher your voice. Don't shout or scream. It's meaningless. As for the details, you can ask your sister. She will give you a reasonable answer. Once again, I have no intention of harming you, nor do I have any intention of capturing anyone. I'm just passing by. Following that, Tianyin extended his hand and tapped on the girl's voice, releasing it from the seal. After the girl's vocal cords were unsealed, she didn't scream. Instead, she asked coldly, Who are you? Who I am isn't important. What's important is your sister's explanation. Tianyin was very satisfied with this girl's attitude. As long as she didn't shout and attract the attention of the surrounding people, it wouldn't be a problem. He didn't want to be beaten up. He wasn't afraid of being besieged. However, seeing that it wasn't easy for the five-color god race to cultivate, he didn't want to do anything to harm them. Shortly after, Kai Shui began to explain to her sister. In general, she said that she witnessed the battle and saw Tianyin kill the Green Devil Saint King. She wanted to help. Kill the Green Devil Saint King. Kai Shui's sister was called Kai Yun. Kai Yun and Kai Shui were a pair of blood-related sisters. This meant that Tianyin had basically helped her take revenge. I understand more or less. It's normal for my sister to help you. Kai Yun nodded. Her gaze didn't soften, but it was still so sharp. It was obvious that she didn't trust Tianyin. Even if he helped to kill an enemy, her attitude wouldn't change much. After all, the human heart was the hardest to guess. After so many times of being hurt, it was impossible to trust them so easily. As for the way out, I'll help you find out. Correspondingly, you have to stay here and don't wander around. I'll arrange for you to go to another room. When the time comes, just don't wander around. If we find the exit, we'll naturally tell you. If we can't find it, you'll have to wait for the next time the door opens. Kai Yin was very calm. Her attitude was also very cold. She wasn't afraid of being killed by Tianyin at all. In her opinion, if they were killed, they would notice very quickly. At that time, they would definitely be surrounded and attacked by their race. They wouldn't be able to escape even if they wanted to, especially since this was their race's territory. No problem. Do whatever you want. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Tianyin shrugged. His injuries hadn't healed yet, so it would be hard for him to make a move. Following Etienne's help to undo all the seals, Kayin didn't do anything else. She just brought him out of this room and into another room. The situation outside was that there were rows of houses made of 5 colored godstones. From the outside, it looked very luxurious. Apart from that, there were many large formations set up. The key was that this was a special space. It didn't belong to the world that the Green Devil clan stayed in. This was actually a small world. Generally speaking, it would be safer and wouldn't be disturbed. Seeing this situation, Etienne couldn't help but look at Kaiyun. In such a situation, could Kaiyun still slip out? Hurry up and come in. Kaiyun saw that Etienne was still looking outside and quickly dragged him into the house. Don't stay outside. If you're discovered, it'll be terrible, Kaiyun said sternly. I'm just looking a few more times. Do you have to be so strict? Etienne spread his hands helplessly. It's that strict. If you're discovered, not only will you die, but will also be punished. Kaiyun said in a low voice. It seems that you're really xenophobic. Etienne smiled faintly. If you've been caught by all the races, I think you'll definitely think the same as us. Kaiyun grabbed her sister and said, You stay here and wait for our news. If you run away, we can't help you. Etienne said to Kaiyun. Kaiyun said, You stay here and wait for our news. Then she left with her younger sister. Before Kaiyun left, she cast a glance at Etienne. There was pity in her pretty eyes. The two of them left quickly, leaving Etienne alone in the room. Etienne didn't run around. Instead, he sat down to rest and recover from his injuries. His injuries hadn't recovered yet. He had to take advantage of this opportunity to recover quickly. Let's recover quickly. As long as it isn't a star venerable, no one can stop me. Etienne closed his eyes to continue recovering from his injuries. Chapter 1959. Etienne was not familiar with them, but judging from their attitude, they would not tell on him. Even though Kaiyun was a more upright person, she could only help him keep it a secret. The reason was simple. He could come here because of her sister Kai Shui. That was why he could do this. If she told on him, Kai Shui would be punished. This was the rule here. If she brought someone else here, she would be severely punished. Therefore, Kaiyun would not tell on him. Otherwise, her sister would be punished. If she told on him, he would not worry. As long as it was not a star venerable, he would be able to stop them. As for other star lords, as long as they were not extremely powerful, he could suppress them. If they fought with their lives on the line, Etienne did not mind washing this place with blood. If they came here to kill him, he would be a fool if he just sat there and waited for death. Although he felt sorry for Kai Shui, he had no choice but to fight. Of course, if there was no problem, he would not fight. He was not a cruel person. Through this rule, Etienne guessed that a similar situation must have happened in the past. That was why there was such a rule. The rule was not set randomly. It had happened before, so it was added. It could be seen that this was not the first time this place had been opened. It had been opened a long time ago, but it did not open every time. After all, this time the heaven crystal was flashing, reminding him of the change in the situation. In the past, there would not have been such a change. Etienne thought for a while, then stopped thinking about it. He immersed himself in recovering from his injuries. Just a little bit more, and I will recover completely. By then, even if the Green Demon Holy King comes back to life, there will be nothing to worry about. Unless they all have a lot of star venerable blood. Etienne closed his eyes and recovered quickly. The power of the 5 elements here was very rich. If he absorbed a little more, he would be able to replenish his consumption. It was many times better than the outside world. This was a small world built by the 5-colored holy race. The energy here was much richer than the outside world. It was not only good for cultivation, but it was also good for recovery. At the same time, over at Kai Shui and Kaiyun's side, Kai Shui was being taught a lesson by her elder sister. I don't care if you sneak out often, but this time you actually brought someone in. Sister, don't you know the rules here? Kaiyun lowered her voice, but there was a hint of annoyance in her voice. Sister, I know the rules of the tribe, but he helped us kill the Green Demon Saint King, our enemy. Kai Shui was young, but her temper was very stubborn. She didn't have the slightest hint of repentance. That's true, but that's what they wanted to do. We didn't ask them to do it. You don't have to save them. Kaiyun hugged her younger sister and said with emotion, "If he takes you away, what will big sister do?" Her eyes reddened, and there was some sadness in them. Kai Shui buried herself in her sister's bosom. She was startled at first, then hugged her sister and said in a low voice, "Sister, I'm sorry. It's okay. He doesn't look like a bad person. Let's help him this once." Kaiyun sighed. Things had already happened. There was no point in being angry. "Sister, I feel a very familiar and intimate aura from him, so I don't think he's a bad person," Kai Shui added after thinking for a while. "Familiar and intimate aura? I don't feel it." Kai Yun frowned. After thinking for a while, she shook her head and said, "Forget it. Anyway, let's all find the exit now. If we can't find it, he can only wait until the next time it opens." Kai Shui nodded and didn't say anything else. She followed her sister into the study. After the two of them entered, they kept looking through all kinds of records. They wouldn't be so stupid as to directly ask where the exit was. Once they asked, they would definitely be suspected. Therefore, they could only use this kind of stupid method to help Tianyun find the exit. For a moment, the two sisters kept looking through all kinds of records, trying to find some clues. "Hey, it's rare to see you two reading here." An old man walked over and said with a smile, "Grandpa Chi." The two of them were shocked. They hurriedly hid the panic in their hearts and looked at Grandpa Chi with a smile. "We want to come in and see what happened in the past. We want to see the history of our five-color god race." Kai Yun was the older sister. She immediately thought of an excuse. "Yes, it's good to know the history of our five-color god race. Back then, our five-color god race was the best in this world." Unfortunately, Grandpa Chi sighed deeply and began to reminisce. Piles of memories began to pour out. They could only listen. It was boring, but they could only listen. However, not long after, Kai Shui's big eyes turned, and she suddenly asked with a smile, "Grandpa Chi, speaking of which, have we never planned to go out?" "Go out?" Grandpa Chi shook his head and said, "If we want to go out, it's not impossible. When we completely suppress the green demon race, we can go out. Suppress the green demon race, we know that. But other than that, is there any other way out?" Kai Shui asked. "There is." "Why do you ask this question?" Grandpa Chi looked at Kai Shui with a puzzled look. I'm just asking purely out of curiosity." Kai Shui's small hands clenched tightly. She felt a little nervous. "The two of you listen to me. Don't ever think about going out. The outside world is very dangerous, especially for our race. It's even more dangerous. Don't trust other races. All of them are sinister and cunning." Grandpa Chi's face was serious. There was no trace of the peaceful expression he had before. The two sisters looked at each other. It seemed that they wouldn't be able to get anything out of him. After some idle chatting, they could only shake their heads and sigh. This time, they wouldn't be able to find anything. Soon, the two of them returned to the room and saw Tianyun smiling at them. "Is there any news?" "It seems that there isn't any good news, right?" Tianyun felt that his condition had basically recovered. Seeing their dejected faces, he knew that he wouldn't be able to get anything out of them. "There's a passageway, but we can't ask or find it. It seems that you can only wait until the next time it opens." Kaiyen's expression was still cold and emotionless. As expected, "Then when is the next time it opens?" Tianyun asked. He didn't have any hope in the first place. If he could know, he would have known long ago instead of asking. This kind of thing would definitely be classified as a taboo. Kaiyen thought for a moment and said, "About 10,000 years. It only opens once every 10,000 years. Chapter 1960. 10,000 years. He thought it would at most be a few hundred years, at most 1,000 years. He didn't expect it to be 10,000 years. After 10,000 years, he didn't know what the situation would be like, let alone 10,000 years. Even if it was a few hundred years, he wouldn't be able to wait. After all, who knew what the ancestral land of the Jade God would do to those lower realms? Especially when someone in the three realms successfully broke through to the God Emperor stage. this kind of disgusting thing would definitely happen. 10,000 years. I can't wait at all. This is too long. Etionyan shook his head. If the teleportation godstone could be used, he would have left this place easily. He didn't expect that there would be a huge pit here. He thought that there would be some kind of amazing treasure. Now, it seemed that it was a dead end. There's nothing we can do. We can't find any other passage. If you don't want to stay here, I can send you out. The area outside is vast. You can find other passages at will. Kaiyun's attitude was still cold, without the slightest bit of politeness. Big sister, if you send Big Brother out, wouldn't he be in danger? There are many green demon race outside. If he is surrounded, it will be difficult to escape. Kai Shui hurriedly advised. Didn't you say that he killed the green demon Holy King? Even the green demon Holy King was killed. Why would he be afraid of the other green demon race? Kaiyun didn't believe that Etionyan could kill the green demon race. This time, there were many heaven crystal stones, and they all ran in. It was possible that he was exhausted to death by a group of people and not killed by Etionyan alone. Their 5-color god race had been fighting the green demon race for so long, but the green demon Holy King was still not killed. It was enough to show how difficult it was to kill. This kind of thing they were naturally happy to see. The death of the green demon Holy King was a good thing for them. The green demon Holy King was killed by Big Brother. I even saw it with my own eyes. But if you go out casually, it will still be very dangerous, and Big Brother is injured. Kai Shui still advised. Her eyes were filled with worry. It seemed that Kai Shui was still very concerned about Etionyan and was unwilling to send him out. Sister, I don't object to your compassion, but if he wants to find the passage himself, do you think I'll force him to stay? Kaiyun touched her little head, then looked up at Etionyan and said coldly, It's up to you whether you want to stay here or leave to find the passage. All right, then I'll leave this place and search for the passageway. Etionyan didn't continue to stay here. There was no good way for him to stay here. Moreover, he couldn't go out, so he might as well go out and find another passage. No. Kai Shui grabbed Etionyan's big hand and said with tears in her eyes, Big Brother, you can't go. It's very dangerous outside. Etionyan reached out and rubbed her little head, smiling. It's all right. I can even kill the green demon Saint King. Why would I be afraid of the other green demon race? Besides, I can't find a way out even if I stay here. Kai Shui shook her head. It was fine to lie to a child, but she wouldn't believe it no matter what. However, she didn't expose him, but stayed at the side and watched. Anyway, as long as Etionyan didn't hurt her sister, it would be fine. Then you should at least wait until your body is fully recovered. Kai Shui saw that she couldn't persuade him to stay, so she could only say so. All right, then I'll wait until my body is fully recovered. In about a month, I'll be fully recovered. Etionyan estimated his own situation. Under the situation where his body was constantly recovering, he still needed a month. The injuries this time were too serious. If it was another cultivator, who knew how many years it would take? His recovery was considered fast. That's great. Then, Big Brother, you can stay here and rest. Kai Shui smiled happily. Even if she couldn't help Etionyan leave, at least she could let him stay here until his body was fully recovered. Kai Shui sighed at the side. It seemed that her sister was too kind. She didn't even know when she would be sold. Since my sister said so, then you should wait until your body is fully recovered. After your body is fully recovered, you have to leave this place immediately. Kai Shui's tone was strict, and she still didn't give him a good look. I will. Etionyan didn't pay attention to her. He chose to stay because of Kai Shui. If it wasn't for Kai Shui urging him to stay, he wouldn't want to stay here. His movements were restricted here, so naturally, he didn't want to stay here. After a series of instructions, it was nothing more than that he couldn't walk around casually and could only stay in this room. If someone came, he should immediately conceal his aura and not act rashly and so on. Etionyan listened to everything. Anyway, he only needed to stay for a month, so he was too lazy to walk around casually. After the instructions, Kai Shui left with Kai Shui and didn't continue to accompany him here. Time passed day by day. Kai Shui often came to chat with Tianyun and often asked about the situation outside. Tianyun was willing to chat and told her about the situation outside, which made Kai Shui exclaim again and again. She didn't expect the outside world to be so colorful. When Kai Shui knew about this situation, she could only shake her head and sigh. Anyway, Tianyun was only staying for a month. She would let her sister chat with him for a month. During this period, Tianyun also learned a lot of things and knew about the situation of the five-color god race. They stayed here, not because they were trapped, but purely to complete a mission. The mission they received was to suppress the green demon race. The green demon race wasn't a race of this world, but a race from the underground world. They were responsible for guarding the passage that the green demon race used to come up. Even so, there were still many green demon race rushing up, which gave them a headache. The one who gave them this mission seemed to have saved the five-color god race, which was why the five-color god race was responsible for suppressing the green demon race. No matter what, they were indeed archenemies. The opening of the passage was completely due to the distortion of time and space, causing the formation to malfunction, allowing foreign cultivators to come in at will. Normally, they wouldn't be able to come in. Therefore, the situation that occurred last time was the distortion of the formation, which temporarily weakened it, allowing them to come in with the heavenly crystal stones. As time passed, it was soon going to be a month. Tianyun's injuries had completely recovered, and it was about time to leave. Strange. Why haven't I seen Sister Kai Shui come these few days? Tianyun was a little curious. Previously, Kai Shui would often come to find him, but now she hadn't come for a few days. Could it be that she had discovered something? Just as he was thinking about this, a familiar aura came from outside. She pushed open the door and hurriedly said, "Big brother, it's not good. The green demon race is attacking. Quickly run." Chapter 1961. That's right, the green demon race is attacking. Even without the green demon holy king, they will still attack. This time, they gathered so many green demon races because they want to attack us in one go and destroy our five-color divine race. At that time, they will escape from this seal and go to the outside world. Kai Shui grabbed him and prepared to dig a hole to escape. It seemed that she had a fixed place to escape to. However, even if she could escape, her clansmen could not. This was their small world, and their entire base was here. It was impossible for them to abandon this place and escape. Furthermore, where could they escape to? The outside world was only so big. As long as the green demon race continued to find them, they were destined to be surrounded. So they gathered so many green demon races to attack. Tianyun remembered that when he came in, he saw so many starboats. So they were planning to attack. It was just a coincidence that he ran into them. At the same time, when the green demon race saw outsiders, they naturally would not let go of the opportunity to devour them. Now that they had gathered so many green demon races, it was impossible for them to leave just like that. Even without the green demon holy king, they would still attack. This was an opportunity, and an opportunity that only came once in 10,000 years. After spending this period of time with Kai Shui, he had a rough idea of the situation. The opening of the passage every 10,000 years was actually because the seal was unstable and distorted. Not only could cultivators come in, the rest of the green demon race could also run up from the depths of the ground. This was the corresponding situation between the two. This time, it was unknown how many had run up, but from Kai Shui's expression, there would definitely be a lot. It seemed that the group he had destroyed last time was only a portion. There was still a large portion that had not been cleared out, but they had moved to the other side, probably to outflank the five-color divine race. However, he did not expect the green demon holy king to be killed by him. He did not know what was going on with the green demon race. Yes, they are all surrounded outside. If we don't escape now, it will be too late. Kai Shui grabbed him and drilled into the ground. Tianyun pulled her over and said in a deep voice, "Why don't I stay and help you guys? Maybe I can help you guys get rid of a portion of the green demon race. This way, you guys won't reject me. As his savior, this way, the five-color divine race would definitely not reject his suggestion, which was to let him leave this place. If he really had to wait for 10,000 years, wouldn't he go crazy? No, it's different this time. Even if they don't have the Green Demon Holy King, they will have the Green Demon Battle Saint. The Green Demon Holy King is only one of them. Not only that, there are also many experts. Kai Shui said anxiously, "It'll be too late if we don't leave now. They're already deploying a grand formation, wanting to trap us completely. At that time, even if you want to leave, I won't be able to bring you along." The Green Demon race has two such powerful experts? Tianyan was taken aback. He had thought that the Green Demon Holy King was the current emperor of the Green Demon race. However, the Green Demon race had several current emperors. It was no wonder that even after the Green Demon Holy King was killed, they were still able to send people over. They were not without a leader and still had a large number of experts to lead them. Yes, there are still two omnipotent masters, so you better hurry and escape. Kai Shui continued to lead him into the cave. If that's the case, all the more I shouldn't leave. Tianyan shook his head and said, "Not only for me to leave, but also for the safety of the outside world. If these Green Demon race were to run outside, I'm afraid it would also cause chaos outside." The Green Demon race was so disgusting. If they were to break the seal and leave, then the forces he brought up would also be in danger. It wasn't that he wanted to protect this world, but he was thinking about his own future situation. The ancestral land of the Jade God was disgusting enough. Now that there was the Green Demon race, wouldn't it be even more disgusting? In addition, now that he had sent charcoal in the snow, he could even get the five-color god race to acknowledge him. Why wouldn't he do this? But Kai Shui wanted to say something, but she was dragged out by Tianyan. "There's no but. Don't you know that I killed the Green Demon Holy King? Not to mention killing two Holy Kings. If I can kill one, then you guys won't feel so much pressure. If I'm injured, please help me heal." Tianyan smiled at her. Kai Shui nodded her head. Now that things had come to this, she could only do this. Her cultivation was not strong, so she could not help much. If Tianyan could help, that would be even better. Ding! Successfully accepted, resist the Green Demon race's encirclement and rescue the five-colored god race. Completed the quest and obtained the five-colored god race's favorable impression of you. At the same time, you have obtained a chance to level up the system skills can be accumulated. The mission that popped up caused Tianyan's eyes to light up. He had just received a lot of missions. Why not? Then you go out first. I still need to prepare. Tianyan was not in a hurry to go out. Instead, he wanted to adjust his condition and prepare some things. When the time came, he would kill his way out. All right, then I'll go out first. Kai Shui nodded her head. Without any hesitation, she turned around and left. After walking out of the room, she had only taken a few steps when she saw Kai Yun rushing over. When she saw her, she sighed and said, "No wonder I couldn't see you. You must have gone to send him away, right? I thought he would stay and help us resist the Green Demon clan. It seemed that I was thinking too much. Let's go. Even if we die, we must fight to the last moment." Kai Yun grabbed her and walked out. She did not persuade Kai Shui to escape or anything. Sometimes a mission was more important than anything else. Moreover, they really could not escape from the outside, unless the elders let them use a secret passage or something. Kai Shui opened her mouth and thought for a while, but did not say anything. Immediately, the two of them quickly rushed to the front line. At this time, the ceiling formation outside had already been surrounded by a group of Green Demon Clan. Numerous Green Demon Clan members were attacking the ceiling formation frantically, wanting to destroy the strong ceiling formation here. Outside the formation, there were waves of fluctuations. For the time being, they could still hold on. However, if they were attacked continuously, they would not be able to hold on for too long. "You evil beasts! You have sealed us for so long. Let's see if you can hold on this time. Last time, you managed to block us. Let's see how you block us this time." Outside, a green demon, Star Venerate, wearing green battle armor, said. He was the Green Demon Battle Sage. His cultivation had reached the late stage of Star Venerate, and he was basically as strong as the Green Demon Holy King. In some aspects, He was even stronger than the green demon Holy King. Not bad. Last time, we underestimated your ability. Let's see how you block us this time. Another one was the green demon Holy Master. He wore a green robe, and a strange energy spread around him. Chapter 1962. The two green demon race, Star Venerates, were in front. Not only them, but there were also many green demons outside. They had completely surrounded this place. It seemed like there was no place to escape, but in reality, there was an escape route. However, the green demons were not worried that they would escape. The entire formations I was here. If the five-color divine race escaped, they would be very happy. Even if they sealed this place, they would only seal off a small area. They did not want to let so many five-color divine race people escape. They could not completely seal it off for now. In this small world, the five-color divine race's clan leader G, was also a late-stage Star Venerate. In addition, there was another Star Venerate beside him. This was an elder. However, the green demon race's Star Venerate elder's cultivation was relatively low, only a mid-stage Star Venerate. As for Star Venerate, there was no one. After all, it was not that easy to break through. Even though there were many five-color divine stones here, they could not casually break through to Star Venerate. The difficulty was simply too high. Aside from this, there were also many five-color divine race people here. However, compared to the green demons, there were much fewer of them. Even Grandmaster Xing was much fewer than the other party. The two could not be compared at all. The main reason was that there were very few five-color divine race people in the first place. Because of some matters, the five-color divine race had almost been exterminated. After so many years, they had not recovered. It was impossible for their numbers to be that high. In particular, it was easy for other races to capture them, causing their numbers to be even lower. No one captured the green demons at all. Otherwise, there would not be enough to capture no matter how many there were. Just from appearance, it was clear that the five-color divine race was more likable. It's not that easy to destroy us, Clan Leader G said coldly. Even if we fight to the last man, we will not admit defeat. Furthermore, it is still uncertain who will win this time. That's right. Don't think that our five-color divine race will be so easily destroyed by you. Even if we die, we will drag you down with us. Elder Ma Zhe also roared, his eyes bloodshot. They were already fighting to the death. This had nothing to do with responsibility. They just wanted revenge. The green demons had killed many of their five-color divine race people, so it was even more impossible for them to retreat. The other five-color god race also roared out loudly. Their morale rose explosively, and they were in high spirits. None of them were cowards. Even the two sisters, Kai Shui and Kai Yun, had red eyes and wanted to fight with them. Their parents had died in the last battle. Even though the green demon Holy King had been killed, their anger had not been completely extinguished. Unless the entire green demon race was destroyed, their anger would not be appeased. Humph, that's quite a morale boost. Do you really think that we're not prepared at all this time? The green demon battle, Saint waved his hand, and a few drops of Star Venerable blood floated in his hand. The green demon, Sacred Master, beside him also threw out a few drops of Star Venerable blood. They really threw caution to the wind and used the Star Venerable's blood without holding anything back in order to take down the five-color divine clan. Not only that, but the bodies of the Green Devil tribe members in the surroundings also began to emit green light, vaguely wanting to release their own life force so that they could erupt with their strongest power. You have the Star Venerable's blood. Do you think we don't? Clan Master G and the others also waved their hands, and the blood flickering with five-color divine light floated in their palms. This was also the Star Venerable's blood, and the power it released seemed to be even stronger than the green demon race's blood. However, the difference was that they had too few people using it. They were all at the Star Lord level, and they were weaker than the green demon races. Not only that, but the Star Dharma images in their bodies also erupted and floated into the sky. They all had the same five-color divine statue, Star Dharma images, and they were all top-notch level 5 Star Dharma images. As for level 6 star Dharma images, they did not have them yet. Compared to the green demon race, they all had star Dharma images. On the green demon race's side, only a few green demon race members had star Dharma images. Star Dharma images? It's all because of your seals that we don't have star Dharma images. Today you will all die. The battle sage image behind the green demon battle saint rose up, holding a giant blade, ready to cut down all living creatures at any time. If it wasn't for your impudence, how could you have fallen to such a state? Clan leader G said coldly. We are enforcing justice on behalf of the heavens. We are destined to suppress you to the point where it will be hard for you to turn over a new leaf. I heard that your green demon holy king was killed by foreigners. The heavens really have eyes. The foreigners don't like you. Hearing clan leader G's words, their faces darkened. This matter had indeed exceeded their expectations. They never thought that the green demon holy king would die, and the green demon godson would also die. This was undoubtedly a great loss. Haha, hard for us to turn over a new leaf. Even if the green demon holy king was killed, do you really think we have this little bit of power? The green demon battle, Saint smiled and glanced to the side. Old friend, why aren't you coming out? Let me see your former companion. Immediately, a five-colored light appeared beside him. His entire body was emitting five-color divine light, not green light. It was not the green demon race that appeared, but the five-color divine race. When everyone saw him appear, they all revealed angry gazes. Among them, clan leader G said angrily, Traitor, if it wasn't for you, our five-color divine race wouldn't have suffered such a great loss. Clan leader G, what you said is wrong. What's the point of our two families fighting each other? What kind of promise are we keeping? What a bunch of bullshit, a waste of time. Ji Fanyan's expression was calm and disdainful. If our two families joined hands, the outside world would be ours, and we wouldn't be trapped in this broken place. Impudent. That is the responsibility of our benefactor. Without that benefactor, we would have been destroyed long ago. Clan leader G shouted angrily. Responsibility? Our responsibility is to be a watchdog? Ji Fanyan said coldly, We've been doing this for so many years, and we don't even know where he is. The green demon race is not weak. If this continues, our five-color divine race will be destroyed sooner or later. If our benefactor really wants to deal with the green demon race, he should deal with them together, not leave us here. I've had enough of this kind of life. It's not interesting at all. Look, I've been out for so long. Where's that benefactor? I don't even see him, and I don't even know where he died. Keep your promise, promise my ass. The faces of the people from the five-color divine race turned ugly. What he said was true, but even so, they could not go back on their original promise. While they were cursing non-stop, Etianyan took out the golden divine grass and started to consume it. He did not use the 9-turn star grass, but he used the golden divine grass. He did not plan to keep it. Chapter 1963. Originally, Etianyan had planned to give the golden divine grass to others or himself, regardless of which, he planned to use it to refine pills. After all, the effects would increase after refining pills. It was undoubtedly very worth it. However, the situation was different now. He needed to face a group of green demons and several strong existences. Hence, he needed to improve himself. If the golden divine grass was not very effective, he would use the 9 revolution star grass to improve himself. The green demon holy king was simply too strong. Now, there were 2 existences on par with him. Naturally, he needed to improve himself. He did not want to use the star venerate blood. After all, it was a waste. The main thing was that the star venerate blood was much more precious than the golden divine grass. Hence, he planned to use the golden divine grass first. After Xiao Chun consumed the golden divine grass, a golden energy poured into his body and started circulating. At the same time, a faint layer of gold appeared on the 5-colored emperor dragon in his body. It was like it was advancing to a higher level. Soon, the 5-colored emperor dragon in Xiao Chen's body gained a faint layer of light. Its level had really increased. Congratulations on successfully allowing the five-colored Emperor Dragon to break through to the star dermic aspect, unique to the second layer. Its might has increased fivefold. The star dermic aspect unique to the second layer? Etienne's eyes lit up. From this news, he could clearly feel that this star dermic aspect could really be upgraded. From the records, there were very few related records, almost none at all. From this, it could be seen that the difficulty of upgrading was too high. Hence, there were no records. Or perhaps even if there were, many experts were not willing to say it, lest the information be leaked. It looks like this is information that only star venerates and above can obtain. Etienne boldly guessed that this information had been circulating for a long time. However, it was not circulated outside, but internally. In such a situation, the fewer people that knew, the better. The key was that the difficulty of upgrading was too high. One could not raise one's level at will. Another conjecture was that only a high-grade Dharma idol would be able to increase its level. For example, only a star dermic aspect above rank 5 could raise its level. After consuming the golden divine grass, one had to slowly raise it to rank 5 first before it could bring about such an effect. Or perhaps this is a special privilege that only the star Dharma idol has. Etienne narrowed his eyes as he thought of this possibility. Otherwise, how could there be no information at all? There were very few people who possessed a unique star Dharma idol, and even fewer people knew how they could increase their level. Therefore, it was very likely that it was an effect that could only be achieved with the star Dharma idol. If that's really the case, the advantage of having a unique star Dharma idol will be even greater. I'll be able to widen the gap between us immediately. Etienne squinted his eyes and smiled. The golden divine grass is said to be able to enhance one's perception, but it's probably only for those with lower levels of star energy. For those with unique star energy, the golden divine grass is a great supplement to increase their level. Speaking of which, what are the effects of the 9 revolution stargrass? Perhaps I can continue to level up. Even Etienne wanted to give it a try, but he felt that it was about time. After all, after leveling up, its power had greatly increased. He couldn't say that he could defeat everyone, but at least he wouldn't end up in such a sorry state when facing opponents who had taken the Star Venerable's blood. Then there was the 9 revolution stargrass. If he used it to concoct pills, his strength might increase even more. If he really couldn't, he could use it to increase his level. It's about time. It's time to go and take a look at the situation. It's not too late. Etienne stood up. His aura was even stronger than before. His sharpness was more reserved, and he could explode with the power to kill at any time. Just as Etienne was about to set off, the seal outside was about to be broken. The main reason was that with Ji Fanyun's help, the speed of breaking the seal had greatly increased. Ji Fanyun was originally a member of the 5-color divine race's upper echelon. Now that he had come to help, the seal would naturally be broken faster. My clan chief Ji, cooperate with us obediently. Otherwise, I'm afraid that not many of the 5-color divine race will survive. Ji Fanyun's expression was cold. He wasn't worried about the 5-color divine race being destroyed, or rather, he didn't care about the 5-color divine race's survival. As long as they didn't cooperate, they would die. Don't be stupid. Even if we die, we won't surrender. Clan Chief Ji's gaze was ice cold, but his heart had fallen. If this went on, they would definitely be defeated. The other party had 3 star venerates. Apart from that, the other party's battle prowess was equally shocking. It was already not something they could resist. Originally, they could rely on this formation to gain the upper hand. Now that the formation was about to be broken, how could they gain the upper hand? Is that so? Then all of you can die. Ji Fanyun absorbed the surrounding 5 elements' energy and ruthlessly smashed it against the barrier. There was an intense impact, and the barrier nearly shattered. However, it wasn't far from shattering. Under the fierce impact, it was immediately covered in dense cracks. It looked very tragic. If it was hit 1 or 2 more times, it would definitely shatter. Quickly, bring the younger generation and leave this place. Hurry. Clan Chief G finally gave the order to bring the younger generation and leave. Otherwise, it would be too late to escape. Yes. Among them, Grandpa Chi immediately stood up and brought Kai Shui and the others away. These were the youngest generation and also the generation with the most potential. Naturally, they had to be brought away. There was no point in staying here, and they wouldn't be of any help. Previously, when they said that they would rather die than retreat, that they would rather live or die together, this was only referring to their group, not the younger generation. We won't leave. We will also stay here and fight. Right, we won't leave. We are not afraid of death. Even if we die, we will not let the green demon race succeed. I would rather die together with them than leave. Facing the powerful impact, just the fluctuations were enough to make their faces pale. However, they still clenched their teeth and refused to leave. Go! Grandpa Chi swept them away with his powerful strength. They didn't even have the ability to resist before they were taken away. No matter how they struggled, it was meaningless. Under Grandmaster Xing's power, they had no power to resist. But at this moment, there was a loud boom as the barrier was smashed open. Ji Fanyun and the others rushed in and coldly said, "None of you can leave." For a moment, the experts of the Green Demon race all rushed over. As for the other two Green Demon race, Star Venerates, they immediately used their strongest power. A green light barrier enveloped this area, making it impossible for anyone to leave. They pounced down one after another, immediately exerting a strong might on them. The five-color deity race only had one Star Venerate. Even if they fought to a draw, there was still another Star Venerate. Who could defend? Boom! Horrifying energy erupted in the air. The four Star Venerate level existences were already attacking their opponents relentlessly. Among them, the five-color deity race's Elder Ma Ze even used the Star Venerate's blood. After he used the Star Venerable's blood, the six-armed five-color god on his back instantly turned into an eight-armed five-color god. Layers of power stacked on top of each other, turning into the strongest power. The power of the Star Venerable level spread in all directions, and the power it brought with it turned the green demons nearby into ashes. Elder Ma Ze's cultivation wasn't high, and he could only choose to use the Star Venerate's blood when facing the green demon's sacred master. Even though it was extremely rare, he could only use it. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to persist for a long time. Even so, there was still the remaining green demon Star Sovereign. No one could stop him. The strongest of the five-color deity race's remaining combat prowess was only late-stage Grandmaster Xing. Even if a late-stage Grandmaster Xing used the Star Venerate's blood, he would not be able to bring out the best effect. He would only be able to use half of it. If the difference in cultivation was too great, he would not be able to use the Star Venerate's blood. Only a Star Venerate could make full use of the Star Venerate's blood. Otherwise, he would not be able to bring out the best effect. Furthermore, even if he could use it, he would not be invincible. There is still a large difference between him and a green demon battle sage. The Star Venerate's blood was not invincible. It could not allow a Grandmaster Xing to fight a late-stage Star Venerate expert who was several levels above him. After all, this was only one drop. If there were several drops, or even a dozen drops, the effect might be more obvious. However, where would they get so much Star Venerate's blood? Every drop used meant one drop less, and there was very little left. The Green Demon race's side seemed to have a lot, but that was all they had. Star Venerates were not cows. Their essence blood could not be casually squeezed out. Squeezing out 10 drops was already their limit. Furthermore, they could only squeeze out one drop at a time, not so many in one go. If they really squeezed out all of them, they would probably die. Thus, when the Green Demon Battle Sage pounced down, their expressions turned unsightly. Clan Head G and the others were very anxious, but they could not leave to help. They could only watch as the Green Demon Sacred Master pounced down. What's wrong? Worried? It's useless. This time, you will definitely die. When Ji Fanyun saw how anxious Clan Head Ji and the others were, he felt even more delighted. This kind of expression made him even more excited. Kai Shui and the others paled under this pressure. They did not even have the strength to stand up. The difference in cultivation was too great, and their bodies were about to explode. Even if I die, I won't let you have your way. Grandpa Chi stepped forward. His cultivation was the strongest here. He held 3 drops of Star Venerate's blood in his hand, ready to erupt. He could only use it now. Otherwise, no one would be able to block the Green Demon Battle Sage. Oh, a mere Grandmaster Xing wants to use the Star Venerate's blood to suppress me? You are too naive. The Green Demon Battle Sage stretched out his hand and pressed down. He snorted coldly and said, I'll deal with you first. You suppressed us for so long. This time it's our turn. Grandpa Chi clenched his teeth and prepared to consume the Star Venerate's blood. Kai Shui's face turned pale. She could not help but look back. She shouted inwardly, Big brother, why haven't you come yet? In her mind, only Yi Tianyun could come to help. If Yi Tianyun did not come, Grandpa Chi would definitely die. If he used 3 drops of Star Venerate's blood in one go, he would not have long to live. This was the problem of the body's container. When it exceeded a certain capacity, the body would definitely explode. Sister, it seems like we cannot escape. Kai Yun held Kai Shui's hand tightly and said with a smile, After we go down, I'm afraid we won't have the face to see father and mother. They had thought about killing many green demons with their own hands. It seemed like they would not have such a chance. No, there's still a chance. Big brother will come to save us. That human, Kai Yun asked confusedly, didn't he escape? Before her voice had died away, the green screen behind them was suddenly split open and a giant hole appeared. A giant 5-colored emperor dragon pounced on it and pressed down. The green demon battle sage was sent flying with a slap. Growl. Chapter 1965. Just like that, the battle saint of the green demon race was slapped to the ground. With a loud bang, a deep pit was formed in the ground. The terrifying power caused everyone's heart to tremble. Everyone's gaze was attracted by this. They were all deeply shocked by the figure of the 5-colored emperor dragon, especially the power that was above everything. It was simply an invincible existence. As soon as it arrived, it used its strongest stance to suppress the Green Demon Battle Saint. After sending the Green Demon Battle Saint flying, it swung its tail crazily. A large number of green demons were swept away. The green demon race that was swept by it basically had a slim chance of survival. Those who could survive would at most be on their last breaths. What a strong power is it helping us? When Patriarch G and the others saw this, they were all shocked. Suddenly barging in, breaking through the green screen, and then killing their way in here to help suppress the Green Demon Battle Saint. No matter how they thought about it, they would never have thought about this. Naturally, they did not think that there would be helpers coming to help. Their 5-color divine race had always been here to seal the green demon race. As for allies, they did not have any at all. Thus, it was impossible to hope for any allies to save them. Now, someone had killed their way in and helped them resist the green demon race. Upon closer inspection, they found that the figure inside was actually a human. Human race? It's actually a human. Could it be? Patriarch G and the others immediately thought of the news they had heard before, that a human had killed the Green Demon Saint King, and that Green Demon Saint King. Why would he appear here and help them resist the Green Demon race? When the Green Demon race saw Yi Tianyun's face clearly, they all let out furious voices. They immediately recognized Yi Tianyun as the murderer who killed the Green Demon Saint King. Why is this guy here? Good. I didn't expect your 5-color divine race to join hands with other races. You would rather ally with an outsider than the Green Devil race. Ji Fanyan was shocked and angry. He did not expect such an existence to appear. Everything was somewhat beyond his expectations. That's right. Even if we join hands with outsiders, we will not join hands with the disgusting green demon race. Patriarch Ji naturally lied. This way, he could deceive his opponent. All right, then let's see if an outsider like you can help you get through this. Ji Fanyan roared. continuing to suppress his anger. When Green Demon Holy Lord saw Green Demon Battle Sage being sent flying, his eyes turned red and he roared in anger, "Audacious human, come and die." His own clansmen were sent flying, coupled with the fact that the Green Demon Holy King was killed. He immediately turned and charged towards Eteonion. They planned to eliminate Eteonion first, then deal with the five-color god race. While Rosy Cloud was preparing to fight with Eteonion, she was stunned. When she saw Eteonion's figure, she immediately recognized him. He was the cultivator that her sister saved before. The tyrannical power caused her body to tremble. She exploded the Green Demon Battle Sage with a single palm strike. Such an invincible aura caused her to be shocked speechless. Previously, she thought that Eteonion's power was not bad, but he must have borrowed the power of others to suppress his opponent. Now, it seemed that he did not need the power of others. Just the power of his own Star Dharma idol was enough to crush everything. "Sister, I said that he would definitely come back to help us." Kai Shui waved her small fist, her face flushed with excitement. Kai Shui was very excited. Just as she was about to lose hope, Eteonion finally came and sent the seemingly invincible Green Demon Battle Sage flying with a single palm strike. This performance was enough to let them see hope. Yes, yes. Kai Shui stared blankly at the godlike Eteonion, her heart filled with all sorts of emotions. Previously, she thought that Eteonion had escaped, but who knew that he did not leave and stayed here? At this most dangerous moment, he finally came and saved them. Now that the green screen has been broken, let's take this opportunity to leave. Grandpa Chi's eyes lit up. For the time being, regardless of why Eteonion came to save them, now that the green screen had been broken, they could take this opportunity to quickly escape. Immediately, Grandpa Chi brought them and quickly escaped outside. If the green screen closed again, they would not have the chance to escape. Although they were still a little reluctant, looking at the current situation, it was still better to leave. Following them, they quickly escaped through the green screen and disappeared outside the passage. Before Kai Shui finally left, she looked over worriedly. She wanted to stay and see how Eteonion was doing, but it seemed that it was not possible at the moment. Staying here would only be a burden. "Don't worry. We can still pay attention to the situation here." Kai Shui knew her sister's thoughts and reminded her from the side. "Could it be that we are hiding in the temple?" Kai Shui was startled and asked doubtfully, "We can't go in normally, can we? You said that we can't go in normally, but at the critical moment, we can still go in." Immediately, under Grandpa Chi's lead, they entered the temple in the distance. As soon as they entered the temple, Grandpa Chi opened the seal's protective cover and surrounded the temple tightly. "You should stay here. As long as the Star Venerable does not come out, no one can break into our temple. At the critical moment, you can still escape through the transmission formation inside. If you have to, it is better not to escape." Grandpa Chi glanced at them, then turned around and flew out of the temple. As one of the strongest fighters here, it was impossible for him to hide here. Kai Shui looked into the depths of the temple and immediately understood what Grandpa Chi had meant. The transmission formation inside could probably allow them to leave this sealed land and go to the outside world. If the five-color Holy Clan went out, they would be very conspicuous. Unless they huddled together, they would be easily captured. That was why Grandpa Chi said that they could only leave this place if they had to. However, Kai Shui's attention did not leave this place. Instead, she was focused on Eteonion, who was at the forefront. From here, she could clearly see the situation on Eteonion's side, so her attention was focused on Eteonion. "Big brother, you must hold on." Kai Shui put her palms together and prayed inwardly. "He definitely can." Kai Shui, who was next to her, hugged her sister. Seeing Eteonion's domineering figure in front of them, she also hoped that this outsider could help them resist the Green Demon Clan, especially now that even the Green Demon Sacred Master was attacking them. Could he hold on? Swoosh. Chapter 1966. Facing the two powerful star venerates. Yun remained calm. This was especially so for the green demon battle sage, who had already consumed a drop of star venerate blood. An endless stream of life force surged out of his body, quickly healing his injuries. Originally, under Yun's ferocious attacks, even if he did not die, he would not be able to get up for the time being. After all, after he broke through, his strength had increased significantly. Under his ferocious attacks, even ordinary star venerates would be killed in one move. This was especially so for those unprepared star venerates. They would be instantly killed. The green demon battle sage was prepared, but he was still covered in injuries from Yun's attacks. He could not fight at all. He could only rely on the star venerate blood to recover from his injuries. Otherwise, not to mention fighting, he could only watch from the side. "You are the human who killed my brother?" The green demon battle sage's body erupted with a terrifying power. The power of a star venerate vaguely started to pressure him. This caused the astral energy above Yun's head to dim slightly. This was the difference in cultivation realm. The suppression of cultivation realm was also extremely horrifying. The other green demon holy master also surrounded Yun. The two of them surrounded Yun, sealing off all his escape routes. "Your brother? Are you talking about the green demon holy king? So what if I killed him?" Yun had an indifferent expression as he looked around. He did not feel any danger at all. "Then go to hell." The two late-stage star venerate experts surrounded him. The images behind them soared up crazily. The astral energy above them spread out in all directions. The strong pressure increased the pressure on the five-colored holy race's side. This was especially so for the green demon battle sage, who had consumed the star venerate blood. He even had 15 cubes of astral energy. They attacked as soon as they said they would. They did not have time to chat. They still needed to deal with the five-colored holy race. There were many things they needed to do. When the two of them worked together, even if it was wood-attributed energy, they still had the power to destroy the world. This situation made the hearts of Kai Shui and the others tighten. Even the five-colored holy race, who did not know why Yun saved them, tightened their hearts. They also hoped that Yun would be able to hold on and help them resist all of this. They really didn't have any extra power to resist the green devil race. Everything had been consumed before. The rest of the Star Masters were also resisting the green demon race. However, there were too few of them, and it was still too difficult to fight against them. Everything rested on clan head Ji and Yun. Only by defeating the opposing Star Monarchs could they turn defeat into victory. The strongest combat power was often the most important. For cultivators, strength in numbers was just nonsense. Facing the encirclement of two star venerates, Yun turned around, and his huge dragon eyes flashed. Then he opened his jaws and swallowed fiercely. "Devour the stars." Yun's gigantic figure leaped forward and swallowed the green demon battle saint's star power in one gulp. The star power of the four directions. Logically speaking, it should be able to devour stellar energy from 5 directions. However, this energy was simply too strong, and it could only devour stellar energy from 4 directions. Of course, this was already heaven-defying enough. After devouring it, it rushed to 16 directions of stellar energy in one go. It wasn't over yet. Yun's eyes flashed, and he rushed towards the green demon Holy Lord on the other side and swallowed fiercely. "Devour the stars." Once again, he used the Devour the Stars and swallowed the stellar energy from 4 directions above the green demon Holy Lord. However, he only used 2 directions of stellar energy, thus reaching 18 directions of stellar energy. A total of 18 directions of stellar energy, an extremely terrifying level. The entire starry sky trembled because of him. With a slight tremble, the power seemed to turn into a crushing star, suppressing everything. He can even devour our stellar energy. This is still 18 directions of stellar energy. The green demon battle saint and the others were all stunned. They weren't very clear about Yun's fighting style. Now that they saw it, Their hearts trembled, and they were scared out of their wits. Devouring the opponent's stellar energy and superimposing it on himself. This kind of effect was really too terrifying. The five-color divine race's side was even more stunned. All of their mouths were wide open, unable to say anything. They had always thought that their abilities were shocking enough. They didn't expect an even more terrifying existence to appear. Big Brother, too powerful. Kai Shue's body trembled, her beautiful eyes filled with surprise. As long as one wasn't a fool, they would know what power 18 directions of stellar energy represented. Primal chaos rage. Yun didn't waste any words with them. He opened his huge mouth, and a huge beam of light swept out, hitting the green demon battle saint. Then it swept to the side and hit the green demon holy lord again. The remaining power once again swept out in all directions, and a large area of Grandmaster Xing was turned to dust. When this attack disappeared, almost half of the Grandmaster Xing that had brought with it were gone. If it wasn't for Yun worrying about attacking the five-color divine race, the number of deaths would have been more than this. Under the sweep, the two late-stage star monarchs of the green demon race disappeared. Only Yun was left in the sky. The tyrannical dragon might made everyone's legs go soft. Perhaps this was true invincibility. Clan head Ji was also stunned. Ji Fanyun, who was fighting with him, flew to the side and looked over in a daze. If his two-star Venerate companions were defeated, then what was the point of fighting? How could a one-on-one fight be fun? He would definitely be toyed to death by the five-color divine race. This was especially so for this tyrannical, five-colored emperor dragon. With a slap, he would probably be sent flying. What kind of monster is this? Why is he helping the five-color divine race? Why? Ji Fanyun was about to go crazy. All his meticulous plans were ruined by an intruder. Could he be the descendant of our benefactor? Clan head Ji was startled. Such tyrannical power, it was very likely that he was the descendant of our benefactor. What dog's it, descendant of our benefactor? This is impossible. That powerhouse didn't leave any information behind, and it's impossible for him to have any descendants. Ji Fanyun immediately retorted, but he didn't believe it in his heart. After all, why would an outsider help the five-color divine race? This was something he couldn't understand. Even if he wasn't the descendant of our benefactor, he was definitely a helper of the five-color divine race. It's over. Kai Shui and the others looked over in a daze. In just one exchange, he had crushed two green demon race experts. This was too fast. How long had it been since the start? On the other side, Yun heaved a sigh of relief. He felt that after his strength increased, the effects were astonishing. Originally, the swallowing starry sky could only devour the star power of one person. However, after he broke through to the second layer, he could devour the star power of two people. From this, it could be determined that after reaching the third layer, wouldn't he be able to devour the star power of three people? Chapter 1967. Yun felt that swallowing the golden divine grass had been a wise decision. Otherwise, it would not have been easy to deal with the two Star Lords. Now that he had broken through, he had reached a whole new level. Even though his cultivation level had not increased, the increase in his combat prowess was very obvious. Rumble, two pillars of light soared into the sky, and the horrifying star venerable power spread out in all directions. Everywhere they went was devoured by the horrifying green pillars of light. Even the green demon race's own people were quickly sucked dry. Some of the five-color divine race's members who had not escaped were instantly sucked dry, on the verge of death. This horrifying power meant that the two green demon star lords were not dead. Instead, they had consumed the star venerable's blood to prolong their lives. Boom! The two green demon star lords flew up. Only their small heads were left on their bodies. However, their bodies were quickly reconstructing, and they would soon recover completely. They had almost died. If not for the Star Venerable's blood helping them resist the damage, they would have been killed instantly. No wonder you could kill the Green Demon, Holy King. We underestimated your power. But everything ends here. The green demon battle sage shouted angrily, "We will use all the Star Venerable's blood. Even if a Star Venerable comes, we can kill him." Each of them had consumed at least 3 or 4 drops of Star Venerable's blood. Their powers soared crazily, and their powers stacked up. They really looked like Star Venerables. This effect was similar to what the Green Demon Holy King had used previously. They had both used a fierce attack as a final burst of power. However, Etianyin was now facing 2 Green Demon Holy Kings, not just one. If he had concentrated his power to attack them like before, they would not have been able to resist. He was not invincible. His power had increased, but his defense had not increased much. But even if he had increased his power, he would still die if he was attacked by 2 freaks. Etianyin did not find it strange that they were so tenacious. If they could die so easily, they would not be the Green Demon Battle Sage and the Green Demon Holy Master. They had the Star Venerable's blood in their hands. As long as they did not deliberately want to die, they would have an extra life. The 2 of them are not dead yet. Their faces were pale. The group of 5 color god race in the temple wailed in their hearts. After the emergence of such a terrible power, the 18 square of star power above Etianyin began to lose some of the star power was forcibly taken back. This was the difference in realms. If the difference was too great, the other party's stable state would be very abnormal. Naturally, it would be difficult to devour it. In the blink of an eye, the astral power from 18 cubes became 14 cubes. However, they all had 15 or even 16 cubic meters of star power, so they seemed very weak. Both of them have exploded. Your helper is dead for sure. Previously, when the Green Demon Holy King was killed, it was only one person. Now that there are 2 of them, he is dead for sure. Even if it's a unique Dharma idol, it won't do. Ji Fanyan wasn't in a hurry to fight family head Ji. Instead, he watched from the side. In fact, he even moved a little to the back, ready to escape at any time and ready to fight immediately. How despicable. You even used the Star Venerable's blood. If you didn't have the Star Venerable's blood, you would definitely die. Family head Ji said coldly. What a joke. The winner takes it all. Why are you talking about other things? Aren't you too childish? Ji Fanyan said mockingly. Of course, if you give him the Star Venerable's blood, you will also have the Star Venerable's blood. However, the Star Venerable's blood probably won't have any effect on him, right? Our Star Venerable's blood will only have an effect on our race. It won't have any effect on others. Family head Ji's face turned ashen. That was right. Their 5 color god races, Star Venerable's blood couldn't be used by others. The main reason was that the attribute wasn't suitable. It could easily cause confusion. If it was used casually, not only would it have no effect, it might even cause one's body to explode. On Etianyun's side, facing the 2 exploding Star Venerables, his expression became serious. He knew that if he didn't strengthen himself, it would be difficult to deal with them. Then, when his gaze shifted to Grandpa Chi, his eyes immediately lit up. "Friend, can you give me a drop of the Star Venerable's blood?" Etianyun's eyes lit up when he felt the Star Venerable's blood in Grandpa Chi's hand. He could feel the surging power of the 5 elements contained in it. This power was very effective for him. It could even be said to be a perfect match. Grandpa Chi was stunned. He wanted to use a drop to erupt with power to resist the Green Demon race. Now that Etianyin asked, he didn't know what to do. "I'm afraid you can't use this Star Venerable's blood. If it's not used by our race, it might cause problems." Grandpa Chi didn't refuse immediately. No matter what, Etianyin was helping them resist the Green Demon race. If not for Etianyin, they would have been suppressed long ago. "Don't worry, I can use this thing," Etianyin said hurriedly. The 2 Star Venerables of the Green Demon race were about to pounce on him. If he didn't hurry, it would be too late. But Grandpa Chi didn't have the power to decide. He could use it, but the real decision to give to Etianyin was naturally made by the Patriarch. "Give it to him." Patriarch Ji immediately shouted, motioning for Grandpa Chi to give it to him. Grandpa Chi nodded and immediately threw the Star Venerable's blood to Etianyin. Yun held the drop of Star Venerable's blood in his hand and felt the rich power of the 5 elements in it, which made him feel refreshed. This was indeed the Star Venerable's blood, especially this kind of unique Star Venerable's blood. It made him feel like his body was boiling. He felt that if he used it, he would definitely erupt. When the 2 green demon race saw Yun get the Star Venerable's blood, they didn't panic at all. If Yun was from the 5-color divine race, they might panic a little. However, Yun was from a human race, so there was no need to panic. Haha, do you think that after getting the Star Venerable's blood and using it, you will be stronger than us? One idiot. If you have the ability, quickly use it. The Green Demon Holy Master and the others all knew the consequences of using the Star Venerable's blood other than the 5-color divine race. They couldn't wait for Yun to use it immediately. This way, they could save time and effort. They wouldn't need to spend much effort to subdue Yun. Lord Patriarch, why did he let Grandpa Chi give him the Star Venerable's blood? If he uses it, there will be problems. When Kaiyan saw this, she became anxious. Wasn't this a bad thing? No, I feel that after Big Brother uses it, there will be no problems at all. He will only become stronger. Kai Shue's eyes flickered. She had a feeling that after Yun used it, he would definitely usher in a brand new power. But he is from the human race, not our 5-color divine race. Kaiyan still didn't believe that Yun would be fine. Not to mention her, even Patriarch Ji didn't believe it. Chapter 1968. Yun did not have the Star Venerable's blood, but he could still fight against the 2 Green Demon Star Lords. After all, he still had the Green Demon Star Venerable's blood, and he could still use it. Other people thought he could not use it, but he knew his situation. He could use the Star Venerable's blood of any race. His constitution meant that he could use all the effects of the Star Venerable's blood. The 5-colored Emperor Dragon's tyrannical power alone could subdue all tyrannical powers. In addition, he had the power of the 5 elements, so he could use all kinds of powers. He had asked Grandpa Chi to give him the Star Venerable's blood, so he had to use it as much as possible. Did he have to use all the Star Venerable's blood he had? No matter what, he had come to help. It would be unreasonable if he did not give them some help. Fortunately, they had given him some, which made him feel relieved. Do you think I will explode if I use the 5-color divine Star Venerable's blood? Yun held the Star Venerable's blood and looked at the 2 Green Demon Star Lords surrounding him with a smile. They had been about to attack him, but now they had stopped. They were obviously confident that he could not use the Star Venerable's blood. They were sure that Yun could not use the Star Venerable's blood. Once he used it, it would only cause great harm to his body. It would not bring him any benefits. It's hard to say. You will know once you try it. They smiled wickedly, waiting for Yun to use it. If it were the 5-color Divine Star Lord, they would have attacked long ago to stop him. G-Clan's master wore a grave expression. He was not confident at all. He did not know why he did not refuse when Yun asked for the Star Venerable's blood. G-Clan's master, you played your cards well. It seems like you have pinned all your hopes on him. Ji Fanyan smiled. He had been able to resist for a while. But now, if he used the Star Venerable's blood, he would be able to kill Yun without doing anything. Even if I pinned all my hopes on him, it would be better than pinning them on you. G-Clan's master looked at him coldly. Ji Fanyan sneered. My way of thinking is the correct one. It's better than hiding here. As for dealing with the Green Devil race, that's just wishful thinking. The Green Demon race has an extremely strong power in the underground world. If they can all come out, our 5-color divine race will definitely be pushed to the point where not even a speck of dust remains. So what? I only know what to do and what not to do. Ji Fanyan, you are wrong. Patriarch Ji said coldly. Whether it's wrong or not, we'll see if your reinforcements take the Star Venerable's blood. Ji Fanyan coldly snorted. At this moment, Yun picked up the Star Venerable's blood and stuffed it into his mouth without any hesitation. After taking it, the surface of Yun's body quickly glowed with 5 colors. Following that, he began to heat up. The surface of his skin was like a raging wave, rolling up and down. Ha ha. As expected, I can't absorb it. The negative effects are starting to appear. Seeing that, they started to laugh out loud. After the five-color divine race consumed it, such a situation would not occur. After Tianyun consumed it, his body swelled up. It was obvious that his body was about to explode. With Tianyun's cultivation, his body would not explode. However, suppressing this power, how could he divert his attention to fight? He could only let himself be slaughtered. He did not even have the strength to resist. Patriarch G closed his eyes in pain. It seemed that the miracle did not appear. They were really going to be finished. Kai Yin covered her mouth. This situation was obviously going to be finished. She had really believed Kai Shue's words before, that there would be a miracle, but the miracle did not appear. Tianyun was going to be finished. It's okay. Big brother can do it. Kai Shue still believed that Tianyun did not fail. The fluctuations on the surface of his body did not mean that he would definitely fail. Sister. Kai Yin shook her head and sighed deeply. She did not say anything more. She did not want to destroy her sister's fantasy, but the truth was like this. If there had been no rejection, he would have exploded all of his power like what they had done. His body would not have swelled up. What an idiot. I thought I would have to spend some effort. Now I don't have to. Kill him. The green demon battle saint and the others laughed. They were all ready to fight against Tianyun. They had consumed the star Venerable's blood, but they had to be cautious when facing such a powerful Tianyun. Now, they did not even need to attack fiercely. Their opponent seemed to have lost his power to fight. When they had surrounded Tianyun suddenly shouted and turned into the giant five-colored emperor dragon again. The five-colored dragon scales on the surface of his body became even more dazzling and darker. At the same time, a beam of starlight soared into the sky. The star power he had possessed increased to 20 cubic meters in one go. If not me, who else can do it? Tianyun, who had turned into the five-colored emperor dragon, was even bigger than before. His eyes shone brightly. He could make his opponent explode with just a glance. Roar! Tianyun looked up to the sky and roared, and a violent power burst out in all directions. The powerful sound wave directly impacted the two Green Devil Star sovereigns, forcing them to retreat. The Green Devil race, who was slightly further away, had his head exploded and his soul exploded. 20 cubic meters of star power? They opened their eyes wide. They had never seen so much star power. The area it covered was even more shocking than before. The key was that there was a qualitative change above it. Under normal circumstances, it would only be a patch of silver light. But now, there was a Milky Way above it. The light shining down was like a bright moon, and the surrounding stars had become dim and lifeless. What kind of star could be brighter than the moon? Primal chaos rage. Tianyun opened his mouth and condensed a giant energy cannon. It was at least 20 times more powerful than before. Awful. Run. The Green Demon Battle Saint and the others were so scared that they turned around and fled. A sense of death welled up in their hearts. They were naturally sensitive, and they knew they could not resist it. They could only flee. But how could Tianyun let them escape? The terrifying death beam swept out once again. Everything in its path was reduced to ashes, including the Green Demon Battle Saint and the Green Demon Holy Master. They were instantly engulfed and turned into ashes. Merging with the Star Venerable's blood was useless. They were directly destroyed by the destructive light. Not even a speck was left. Ding. Successfully killed the Green Demon Battle Saint. Obtained a drop of Star Venerable's blood, Green Demon Race. Ding. Successfully killed the Green Demon Holy Master. Obtained a drop of Star Venerable's blood, Green Demon Race. Tianyun's mind was only focused on the Star Venerable's blood. He completely ignored the star energy points. Although it was a large amount of star energy points, it was still a drop in the ocean for him. Chapter 1969. When the experience and rewards popped up, Yun could confirm whether his opponents were dead or not. Before, when they did not pop up, he knew that the two Star Lords were not dead. Now that he had been ejected, he was certain that his opponent was dead for sure. Moreover, it was the kind of death that was certain. It's over. The battle is over. Yun returned to his original form and let out a deep breath. The two Star Lords were dead, so the situation was under his control. All that was left was Yun. As long as he suppressed Yun, everything would be over. The rest of the green demons were like trash. With a sweep, they were easily dealt with. I have to say that the Star Venerate's blood is really powerful. If my body was not strong enough, I would not have been able to endure such a surging power. When Yun took the Star Venerate's blood, he immediately felt his body churn. Actually, it was the energy flowing to his limbs. He was different from the five-color divine race. After they took it, it would only appear in their bodies, but for him, it would appear on the surface of his body. When he frantically strengthened his body, this kind of terrifying situation would appear. But that was all. It did not cause him any harm. It only seemed slightly terrifying, but it would not cause him any harm. Thus, in the eyes of others, Yun's body was about to explode, or something had happened to his body. In reality, it was just a slight change in his body. From this, it could be seen that the Star Venerate's blood was not something other cultivators could feel. He had relied on his strong body to endure such a strong power. Correspondingly, after enduring it, the power he erupted with surpassed his imagination. He had not expected it to increase by so much. Being able to reach 20 units of stellar power was largely due to the effects of devouring the stars. Otherwise, just relying on the Star Venerate's blood would not have been able to achieve such a high effect. Then he looked in Yun's direction. Yun was slightly startled. Then he turned and fled. He was already quite far away. After exploding with speed, he disappeared from everyone's sight in the blink of an eye. Yun had indeed prepared everything and was ready to escape at any time. He fled as soon as he said he would, without any hesitation. You want to leave? Yun naturally would not let Yun escape. As long as it was an enemy of the five-color divine race, he would not let them go. Only in this way would the five-color god race be even more grateful to him. His body flashed, and the wind force in his body rolled up. With the help of 20 cubes of astral power, his speed became even faster. In the blink of an eye, he tore through the void and traveled forward. A moment later, Yun appeared, flicking his wrist and sending a figure flying back toward him. A figure fell from the sky like a meteorite and smashed into the ground. It bounced a few times before finally falling limply to the ground. Everyone looked carefully and realized that it was Yun who had just escaped. Right now, let alone Yun, he was feeling dizzy and paralyzed on the ground. His entire body was half crippled, and the power in his body had been suppressed. Against Yun's strength, he could not resist at all. Unless he took the Star Venerable's blood, he would not be able to resist Yun's power. However, he didn't have a Star Venerable's blood, so he couldn't even take it if he wanted to. Such a scene stunned everyone. After all, these were 3 Star Venerate experts. Yet, they were like dogs beaten up so badly that they could not resist. They all wondered if a Star Venerable had descended. Otherwise, how could he be so strong? However, they could still feel that Yun was only a late-stage Star Venerable, not a Star Venerable. After Yun knocked Yun back, he did not stop. Instead, he turned around and charged at the other green demons, continuing to eliminate them. He did not want to waste so much astral energy. He would earn as much as he could. He would not let go of any astral energy. Kill. The five-colored god, race's morale soared. They were already very courageous in the first place. Now, their morale was even higher. As the green demons pressed forward, when they saw the Star Venerates die, their hearts died as well. The beings they believed in the most had been killed in an instant. Furthermore, they had been killed by a human. They could not accept this. Even the green demon Holy King had been killed. This meant that the 3 lords had all been killed by Yun. He was simply the bane of the green devil race. He had killed so many experts here, causing the Green Devil race to feel like dying ashes. Now, Eteonyan swept all the Green Demon clan in his way, and he killed every single Green Demon clan member he encountered. Not a single Green Demon clan member escaped. As long as they touched him, they would be killed. As Eteonyan swept through the remaining Green Demons, Clan Master Ji looked at Ji Fanyun, who was at his feet. He was extremely shocked. He knew how strong Ji Fanyun was. He was not any weaker than him. Ji Fanyun had originally competed with him for the position of Clan Master. In the end, Ji Fanyun had been defeated. Although he could not become Clan Master, Ji Fanyun's strength was about the same as his. But now he was being crushed. This was simply too shocking for him. This was the first time he had seen someone use a Star Venerable's blood to such an extent. He even felt that Eteonyan had not used his full power. He had been holding back. "You lost." Clan Master Ji thought for a while and finally said, "You lost." "Ha ha, I lost. If you want to kill me or torture me, do as you please." Ji Fanyun laughed, his laughter filled with misery. He had not expected that his plan, which he had been so confident in, would fail just like that. Furthermore, it was a complete mess. Don't worry. When the time comes, the entire clan will come to punish you. For now, let's deal with the matters here first. Clan Master Ji continued to add star runes to Ji Fanyun's body, sealing him even more firmly. Then, he handed Ji Fanyun to his subordinates to watch over him while he went to kill the Green Demons. There were still many Green Demons present. As the clan master, he naturally had to participate in the battle. Originally, he should have made a move against so many Star Venerates, who knew that he would not even need to do anything before Eteonyan finished them off. As a clan master, he had not done much. This made him feel rather awkward. Now, he could only find some pride from the remaining Green Demons. "We won! We won!" Kai Shui hugged her big sister and started shouting. "I knew Big Brother would win. I knew it." She was very happy. At the start, she had thought that Eteonyan would win. Kaiyan had not believed in her. Now that she had won, she was naturally happy. This is really a miracle," Kaiyan muttered as she looked at the situation. Chapter 1970. Eteonyan had defeated all of the Green Demons. Most of them had been killed by him, not because he was actively helping the five-colored holy race, but because he wanted to earn more star energy. Only with more star energy could he level up. He couldn't wait to break through to the Star Venerable realm. Only by breaking through to the Star Venerable realm would he be able to control more power. By then, he would be able to destroy the Jade God Ancestral Land with a single stomp. However, he was still a long way from breaking through to the Star Venerable realm. "It's over." Eteonyan heaved a sigh of relief. His mind was somewhat exhausted. This was because he had consumed too much energy, especially the Star Venerable realm's blood. It was very powerful when consumed, but once its effects disappeared, his body would be severely exhausted. After all, this was a great explosion, and it required a body as a foundation. Naturally, it consumed the body's condition, which was why he seemed so exhausted. Seeing that all of the Green Demons had been eliminated, the only one who had survived was Ji Fanyun. Ji Fanyun wasn't a Green Demon, but a five-colored holy race. That was why he had survived. As soon as he stopped, he felt the gazes of the people around him. They were all filled with gratitude and shock. They didn't know why Eteonyan had helped them, but that wasn't important. All they needed to know was that Eteonyan had come to help them. Without his help, they would have fallen into the enemy's hands by now. "Friend, thank you for your help. If it weren't for you, we probably wouldn't have been able to resist this attack. But there's one thing I don't understand. Why are you in our world?" The Ji clan's master's eyes flashed. It was true that Eteonyan had helped them, but why was he in their world? That was another matter altogether. If he had been lying in ambush here, what would he have done? Or, how had Eteonyan managed to sneak in? Their world might not be impregnable, but at least it couldn't be casually entered. That's a long story. Before I answer, can Clan Master Ji not pursue the matter? Eteonyan said with a smile. "We won't pursue this matter." Even if you snuck in here to steal our treasures, we'll just accept it. Compared to those treasures, you have helped our five-color divine race through this difficult time. This kind of kindness is extremely worth exchanging with treasures. However, I don't think you're here to steal our treasures. After all, if you really wanted to steal our treasures, you would have taken advantage of our crisis to escape and not come help us. Patriarch G was very calm and didn't let his thoughts run wild. If it was really that kind of thief, he would have fled long ago. Why would he come to help? This investigation isn't about me. Of course, since Patriarch G has said so, you can let the two sisters Kai Shui and Kai Yin testify for me. They know what happened. Tianyin was worried that the two of them would be punished, so he asked clan leader Ji to make a promise first. Kai Shui and Kai Yun. Patriarch Ji was startled. He had quite an impression of these two sisters. Their innate talents weren't bad, but they weren't the type that stood out. Why was he asking about them? Clan leader Ji gestured for them to bring him out. Now that they were safe, there was naturally no need to hide in the temple. Soon, Kai Shui and Kai Yun came over. As soon as Kai Shui arrived, she quickly rushed over and said excitedly, "Big brother, I knew you were very powerful." Big sister still didn't believe that you could defeat them. Tianyin reached out and patted her little head. He smiled and said, "If it wasn't for your help, I wouldn't have been able to defeat them. What's going on?" This friend said that the reason he could come in is related to you. Patriarch Ji looked at them and asked. This. Kai Yin was a bit nervous, but she still told him everything in detail. After knowing, Patriarch Ji revealed an expression of sudden realization. The other elders also nodded. They didn't expect there to be such a connection. So that's how it is. It seems that Kai Shui brought back a strong helper for us. Patriarch Ji smiled and didn't blame the two sisters. At the same time, he rejoiced that Tianyin wasn't the kind of person who would cause trouble. Otherwise, the clan would be in trouble. However, he somewhat approved of Kai Shui's actions. To be able to help eliminate the enemy who killed his parents, no matter what, he had to help. This kind of feeling was understandable. Indeed, if it wasn't for Kai Shui bringing me back, I really wouldn't have been able to help you. Tianyin smiled and said, "This is a kind of repayment for Kai Shui. Since she helped me, I will help her. No matter what, compared to Kai Shui's kindness to you, your help is really much greater." Patriarch Ji smiled and said, "Let's not talk about anything else. After this matter is settled, we will definitely treat you well. Now, go and rest for a while. Leave the matters here to us." They were all very happy. This battle had very few losses, and they even caught the traitor Ji Fanyan. This was a great harvest. Tianyin nodded and left the rest of the finishing touches to them. As an outsider, he naturally stayed in his room and waited for news. He believed that through this matter, the five-color divine clan would definitely treat him well and treat him as a good friend. Immediately, he was led by Kai Shui and Kai Yun to the VIP room. He didn't need to hide in his room anymore. Instead, a very good courtyard was arranged for him. This time, the two sisters were completely used to serve him and listen to his orders. The main reason was that they were originally more familiar with Tianyin, so they were sent to serve him. "Big brother, you're really too amazing. In the outside world, you must be the most amazing, right?" Kai Shui's eyes were full of stars. She worshipped Tianyin very much. How could that be? In the outside world, there are many who are more amazing than me. Tianyin smiled and said. Kai Yin pulled Kai Shui over and told her to be more polite. "Sir, this is our five-color divine spring. Please have a taste." Kai Yin naturally wasn't as impudent as Kai Shui. She didn't dare to be as impudent as before. Instead, she completely put down her attitude and respectfully served Tianyin. Tianyin took the tea and took a sip. He smiled and said, "There's no need to be so restrained. It's good to be like before." Kai Yin's face turned red. How would she dare to do that now? At that time, she didn't know Tianyin's strength. Now that he was the benefactor of the five-color divine clan, she didn't dare to be impudent. I don't dare. Big brother is very kind. Why do you need to be so restrained? I still have a lot of things to ask Big brother." Kai Shuel leaned over again and continued to stick to Etianyan. Kaiyan felt very helpless. She could only let her sister do whatever she wanted. At this time, a melodious voice sounded in his ears. Ding! Successfully completed. Resist the Green Demon Clan's encirclement and rescue the Five-Color Divine Clan. Obtained 100 points of Five-Color Divine Clan's favorability. At the same time, obtained a chance to upgrade the system skill can be accumulated. System skill upgrade chance can upgrade the skills you currently possess, except crazy mode. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.